Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff God. Hey! And we're back again with another chapter discussion. And today we will be discussing chapter 1043. Let's face death together. All right. But before we get into that, make sure you show your boy some love and hit that like button, as well as subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell for notifications. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook page. And if you are looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Facebook group and we have the One Piece Discord. All of these will be linked down below in the description box. Oh my goodness, chapter 1043. Woo! Man, let me tell y'all, man. I've been trying so hard this week to avoid spoilers because I feel as though people have been posting about this chapter everywhere, bro. Like, it's been hard. Like, I honestly kind of knew some of the stuff because it was just unavoidable spoilers people post, especially on Twitter. Sometimes people on YouTube, a lot of these thumbnails, right? You get the thumbnails, and a lot of times the titles are pretty much giving you an inkling of an idea of what happened in the chapter. But the good thing is I didn't really understand the context, but some of it I kind of did though. Some like I seen the like we see in the last panel that in the last page, in the last panel, where we see like look that picture of Luffy, and we see like something coming out from him, right? People been posting that everywhere. Like, I've been seeing that a lot, and I'm like, okay, so this must be something to do with the awakening or whatever. But whatever. But we're not gonna get into that just yet. Let me read what you guys are saying in the chat, because I see you guys chatting it up. Desmond says, "I am ready when you are." Yeah, I seen you. I seen you before the stream, right? Pre-stream, I seen that. That was like pretty much the first comment, and it was there even right when I went live. I seen that comment. That was from your boy Desness. Shout out to Desness. I'm glad you here early, man, Desness, because the stream don't start without you, man. The stream don't start without you, Desness. But yeah, he says, "Hello, fellow pirates. Welcome, future sight, Master Bluff." Thank you, my young Padawan. Nah, let me stop though. Angel's Room said we got Angel's Room in the building. First, let me acknowledge he's in the building, as well as Desness is in the building. They both said, "Hey." Desmond said, "I don't like countdowns before streams. It's to get people in the door. It's what I do. I'm sorry. It's one of them things. The stream don't start to 4, right? So I do a 5-minute countdown before the allotted time just to get people into the room. But I can see why you don't like it. I can see why you don't like it. But it's something that I do, man. I'm sorry. It's just something you're gonna have to put up with, or just you could get here at the exact time of the stream, right? You could do that too, and then you don't even have to avoid the countdown, But I usually put it 5 minutes before I come onto the screen, right? Which is I try to show up on the screen exactly at the time that we go live, right? But Angel's Room said, "I am currently reading Skypiea for the first time. I watched it in the anime." Hey, something? I actually I feel as though I gotta do a reread, right? I kind of want to do like a on stream reread. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I do need to do a reread as well, Angel's Room, because I haven't I've only read the chapters pretty much starting from Zoe, right? Like, or a little bit before Zoe, like in the Dressrosa, that's when I started reading the chapters. Everything else I pretty much caught up through the episodes, right? So, but I do kind of want to go back and reread the overall story, right? Try to catch things I might have missed, you know, in the anime, or stuff that the anime might not have gave the manga justice to, right? Desmond said the chapter was a milestone in One Piece lifetime. I am way better now, so I am ready. I'm glad you're doing well, Desmond. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're getting over the COVID sickness, you know. That's a good thing. You know, that's a good thing. So you could get back to working on what you do, and you know, I can see you in the streams a lot more, you know. Angels Room said, I like how Oda make big lore drops in the beginning of every decade One Piece has been doing or going on in. 2000 Will of D, 2010 JoyBoy's title, 2022 JoyBoy is here. That's a good point. I never actually looked at it in that way. I'm gonna have to really kind of go back and try to catch that theme, right? Like go back to the early chapters of each decade, to that maybe, I don't know, the first year or just the early chapters of each decade, right? That's an interesting analyzation, I guess. Analyzation, yeah. Doesn't says, yeah, you're right. Imagine how wild the future of One Piece can be. So exciting. Yeah, man. Like, bro, like there's so much in the One Piece universe, man. Like I always say that Oda can do spinoffs after the main story, right? Like he could do spinoffs or expand on the world. Like we could have more One Piece after the story ends, right? Like the story doesn't have to, like, now I'm not sitting here saying, like, let's say if Oda wanted to continue One Piece, I'm not sitting here saying have it to where the next character is trying to find a One Piece. That doesn't have to be the next series, right? That doesn't have to be that. It could just be, you could find some random character who has like a different goal, right? Like I've said it before on streams, like back when I didn't really have many people on my streams, but I said like one thing I think would be a dope idea, you know, maybe I'll create a stream of this separately, but I've already talked about it, so I don't want to have a whole stream about that. And you might hear me say this again. I kind of repeat a lot of stuff, but one idea I think would be dope, like for a spinoff, right? If you have a character who's kind of like Robin, like Nico Robin, and they're pretty much a historian or a archaeologist, right? Someone who's going out to find the secrets of the One Piece world. Like, have a story, like, bro, like we could expand on so much of the world that we kind of barely touched on, right? Like the Florian Triangle, right? Like there's so many mysteries in the Florian Triangle alone that we could kind of go delve into, you know. But I'm not going to talk about that, you know. I could, you know, maybe I might do a stream about that though, like expand on like different avenues we can go. As far as with the One Piece universe after the story is done, you know. But today's not about that. Today's about the chapter, right? So it's about chapter 1043. Desmond says, I had a wonderful realization in the last few days. A good school friend of mine, the old days, still reads One Piece like me. Since that time, I reconnected to him, and it's awesome. Hey, I'm glad you reconnected with your with a good friend, and that y'all both like One Piece. Like, I don't have too many actual personal friends that really watch One Piece or follow it. Like people that I know personally. So I mean, you people in the Facebook group, a lot of people in other Facebook groups I follow, but you know, I don't have many friends that I've known since I was a child. I got like maybe one, you know, and he's not like he's more of an anime person. He kind of dips his toe in One Piece as well. That's about it. And I have another friend that I kind of put on the One Piece, but he's not that deep in the One Piece either. Desmond said that spinoff idea is very good. I would like a spinoff to go into space, but but give Oda his rest first and prepare in the free time for like stuff like that. I'm actually not opposed to space, right? I think there's story you could go into space because we know there's aliens, right? Like if you watch Anel's cover story, there are these space pirates, right? There are these space pirates that are on the moon as well. And they'll end up defeating them. But so yeah, there's something that could be part of space. Maybe some of the other planets or moons or whatever they are that go around the Earth, you know. As for giving Oda rest, I honestly, if there's a spinoff, I wouldn't expect Oda to be the one that be in charge of that, right? I would expect maybe somebody else, part of, that kind of knows how the story works, right? Like an editor or something. I don't know, but I would expect somebody else to probably take the mantle of One Piece and kind of expand on that, right? Like Oda doesn't have to necessarily do that. He doesn't necessarily have to write a whole new series. He could kind of be in charge to where it's like he kind of like says, like he'd be like, well, that doesn't make sense to the overall universe, so don't add that. Like he could kind of be in charge of what goes in and what goes into the story and what doesn't. Something along that line. And I wouldn't expect the story to be like a thousand episodes either. Like maybe something with seasons, right? Like maybe 3 seasons spinoff and 26 episodes each. Like, I'm not saying let's try to redo One Piece again like that. No, I'm good on that. We don't need another 1,000 chapters, episodes, spinoff, right? And it doesn't have to be done by Oda either, Stan says, bro, I've been wanting Oda to tell us what those Florian Triangle creatures were. Bro, like, me too. What you telling me? Come on now. That's exactly why I brought up the Florian Triangle. Because I think in that alone, you could do stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of poneglyphs as well that we haven't discovered. So, we could go to different islands that we've never been to. Because remember this, right? When we first got to the Grand Line, it was pretty much explained, or maybe not when we first got the Grand Line, but I think it was in Sabaody, right? It was explained that all the supernova kind of took different routes to get to the end of the Grand Line, right? Like there's different routes you can take. So the Straw Hats, we seen them take one route, right? So maybe there's other routes with other islands, with other secrets and other poneglyphs, and I think that'd be a dope idea. And one spinoff I've also talked about was Shanks, because I thought like Shanks, he kind of connects a lot of the old generation with the new generation, like Goldie Roger, all that. But we're getting the Shanks movie, so that might not matter, Stano said, I do hope he addresses them later in the story and find out what they are. I mean, maybe, but I don't know if we have time to sit there and address every single secret, right? So that's why I think a spinoff might be good. Desmond says, imagine it's just Fatal Morgana lie, things like Luffy's shadow projected over Sky Island, and it's fake. Okay, like shadows. It could be. Angel Room said, if there's a spinoff, I feel it would be prequel instead of a sequel. Well, when I say a spinoff, I don't even mean a sequel. I mean just a separate story from the whole finding the One Piece thing. It could be a prequel or it could be a sequel, but it could just be unrelated to a lot of the main story. Like we could still get old characters as well. I'm not against a prequel. I'm not against like a prequel with going a different route either. But you know, that's why I said I actually was in support of a Shanks spinoff before, because if we follow Shanks through his journey, right, we get a lot of Goldie Roger. We get like the battles with him and Mihawk. We learn how he became Emperor or Yonko, pretty much. You know, up to when he met Luffy, right? You know, and that would have been a prequel right there. So again, I'm not against a prequel. Man, we talking about prequels and sequels and spinoffs. I'm gonna finish these chats and then we gotta start the chapter though, man. Desmond says, "Oh yeah, prequel is even better. Each story is only as good as its ending. For a story resulting in One Piece, couldn't be better than that." Yeah, like I'm not against a prequel. I'm not against a prequel. Desness, imagine mangas like One Piece Rocks, One Piece Goldie Roger, One Piece White Bear. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I like a spinoff with an unknown character, and it doesn't have to be a prequel or a sequel, because if you just create another story, like you create a new character who follows a completely separate journey from Luffy and everybody, it doesn't have to involve Oda, right? It does. It might have little elements from the main story, but it doesn't have to involve Oda. So Oda could just be free. He could retire. He could live his life. You know, he can also have input in it. You know, but he doesn't have to be burdened with starting and finishing another series. You know, something with Shanks and Goldie Roger, I think that would have to be heavily Oda involved, possibly even written by Oda, just to maintain the consistency of the story, the continuity as well, you know. So Stan said, I don't think it's like the Shadow because those creatures are based on the Japanese mythology of Umibozo, which were spirits that appeared in calm sea and drowned sailors. So you saying there's spirits? I don't know. That I had to. He said I don't think it's like the Shadows because those creatures are based on Japanese mythology, which were spirits that appeared in the calm sea and drowned sailors. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with those creatures. I had to check them out. Angel's Room said prequel about Shiki. I mean, look, matter of fact, how about this? I'll do a stream about the ending of One Piece and where do we go after. I might have to do a stream about that. So then we could sit here and brainstorm to our heart's desire, right? Elson Jackson said, "Let's go. Just watch it from the start. From the start at 1.5." Yeah. We about to get into it. I'm just trying to finish all you guys' chats. And then Desmond said, "Hello, this is a great idea of keeping up with the stream. Noted." Yeah, maybe keep it true. We're gonna keep a stream just the kind of freestyle stuff, talk about One Piece and other things. So yeah, all right, let's get to the chapter. First let's get this recap out the way, right? So then we could talk about all the jewels and stuff, right? All the gems of this chapter. It was definitely a great chapter though. Like I definitely enjoyed it. Like when I seen that ending, boy, I had to drop my, like I was reading it on my phone, I dropped my phone and then had to get up and yell, man. I was like, okay. But so One Piece chapter 1043, let's face death together. All right, so we got the cover page and it says, an emotionless excursion, volume 7, arrived at Whole Cake Island. So we pretty much see Oven in the back of Brule and Oven's still carrying that book with the Vin Smokes in it, and they just arrived to Whole Cake Island pretty much. We still see the cake that still hasn't been cleaned up. I wonder if people like eat the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like they just walking by eating the cake, right? Like they're like, oh, you know, like that's how they clean it up. Just have people eating the cake. But the whole cake is still there though. It don't look like they really touched it much. But yeah, not much to really speak on about the cover page. So we gonna start the chapter. So we pretty much see Kaido thunder boggling. I don't know how you really turn that to a verb, like a verb, but he's doing the thunder bagua. I forget what the actual full name of this specific thunder bagua is called. It's like thunder something bagua. I can't remember, but he's pretty much pounding Luffy into the ground with this thunder bagua, and pretty much ends him, you know. And we see the CP0 agent kind of looking down, like he knows he's in a world of pain. You know, I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it clean for the stream, guys. You know, I was about to say a different word, but I'm trying to keep it clean. Because eventually I'm gonna want sponsors, right? Like I eventually want people to want to sponsor my stuff. But so he realized that it's about to suck for him. You know, we see all that like smoke, that air that Luffy and takes in when he does his gear 4. We see it. He pretty much blowing it out, kind of like a deflated balloon. And he's how when you deflate a balloon, or if you just let a balloon go, it flies around, right? Flies around. And while that's happening, we get Momonosuke. He's pretty much saying like, hey, I don't hear Luffy's voice no more, right? And he's not the only person that said, he didn't hear Luffy's voice. But Luffy eventually falls, and Kaido is just pissed, man. Kaido is just looking, my boy he pissed, man. I don't blame him, bro. Like you having the time of your life fighting, right? You having the time of your life in just such the type of fight that you've been looking for your whole life, right? And some guy just intervenes and almost takes your win away from you. You get like this cheap, unfulfilled win, this cheap, unfulfilled victory. So Kaido's pissed, right? Doesn't say, "Hello, this is a great idea," and then he said, "Let's head right in." And then I got my uncle in the chat with the thumbs up. What up, Unc? Oh man, my uncle showing some support, man. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my uncle, man. Let me get some ones in the chat for my uncle, man. Just for my uncle, Let me get some ones in the chat. Show some appreciation. He don't really follow this. He just supporting. I appreciate that. But let's get back to the story. Then we get the Oda boxes, and they said battle on the roof of the Skull Dome. Winner Kaido, King of Beasts. Right? So when we look at the what you call it? The win-loss ratio, right? Like which side's got the most win? Luffy's side got all the victories, right? They got like 6, 7 victories, 8, I don't know. Kaido's side got 1 victory. And they got the only victory that matter. They got the only victory that matter. God dang. It's like 1 to 8, 9, something along that line. Kaido, Luffy, right? Man. So Kaido pretty much asked the CP0 agent, he said, "So you're prepared for what happens next?" And then the CP0 agent just looks. He looks like, you know what I mean? He just get that face like, yeah, I know. We see Kaido pretty much wind up for the swing. Like, he don't even look like he's going to even try to fight Kaido, right? Like, he's not even like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to defend myself. I'm going to just take this. I'm going to take this L. You know, the Gorosei pretty much sent me to die, so I'm going to just take this death like a G. Whether he's actually dead after this, you know, we're going to have to wait and see. I know he took that hit, though, you know, seeing the fact that Kaido wasn't up there that long, right? And we see Luffy. We also see Luffy kind of laid out, eyes pretty much white, right? And then I'm pretty much guessing that when Kaido smashed this guy's face in, he pretty much created another hole in the skull, you know, because we see the rubble falling from the ceiling, and we also see the CP0 agent kind of like just with like he realized what happened. He even kind of tips his hat like he knows what happened. Angel's Room said, I think he avoided the attack. I don't know. It's possible, but if he avoided it, I think Kaido probably would have been up there a bit longer to ensure he stays down. So I don't know though. I don't know what happened to him. Kaido didn't stay up there that long, so you know, I'm assuming that Kaido assumes that he got the guy, right? And maybe he confirmed it. You know, I would think that he confirmed that he got the guy by like looking at the agent's body and saying, yeah, you know, he's down. But so you know, we see Kawamatsu, who's still around. He's still up. He's still up. You know, active. His eyes bandaged, so he could have possibly lost the eye, right? He could have possibly lost the eye. And he's pretty much trying to, you know, get people to safety, you know, telling them like, hey man, there's no honor in dying in this fire, right? We ain't got no water. So, you know, try to escape. So now in this part, I was a little confused in the chapter. What happened? You know, I know it's something with Kaido because it looked like a beam, like it looked like it's a blast, right? Like a bleed of, like maybe Kaido did a dragon blast and blasted all those people, and we see Kawamatsu there. He's out of the way of the beam. What it looks like to be the beam. I'm not sure if it's an explosion, if it's a beam, if it's Kaido entering through the floor, right? But you know, it has a impact to it. It has kind of a backblast to it, where it's like where you see a lot of some of the fodder guys getting caught up in it, right? And then we see Kaido. Then enters Kaido, right? And Kaido says, "Where is your leader? I must have Momonosuke's surrender. Straw Hat Luffy is dead." And he says, if anyone else wishes to challenge me, step forward. All right. We get all the cheers from the Beast Pirates. Long Kid also notices that Straw Hat's voice or Luffy's voice vanished, you know, just like Momonosuke did a little earlier in the chapter. You get Kid, he pretty much says it was a short-lived dream. Law said this is a cold, brutal reality. There's nothing left in the tank. Chopper crying, Otama crying. Nami pretty much doesn't believe it. You know, she's saying there's no way Luffy lost. Of course he's not dead. That's ridiculous. You know, she even pretty much start talking all this reckless, talking to Kaido, yelling at Kaido, saying, You're a liar. I don't believe you. You know, Kaido even says, look, hey, at least one of y'all still got some moxie. And then he goes for a dragon breath, but Marco makes the save. You know, so Marco recovered a bit, right? Got a little energy enough to save Nami. And Marco says, don't lose your composure, not before it's all over. And Kaido says Onigashima will soon land upon the flower capital as originally planned. Unlike Orochi, I'm no pushover. This entire country is one gigantic weapons factory. Women, children, I'll use them all. Everyone here is a slave. When you tire and fall apart, you'll simply die. It's all your life is worth, and there are always more replacements. You dared to fight back against me, and you have earned my wrath. And he says, this is what it means to lose a war. The cost of your defeat is your freedom and your hope. And he says, bring Momonosuke to me. The battle is not over until I deal with him. And that's true, man. That's true. When you think about war, that's pretty much how war works, you know. The loser is pretty much at the mercy of the winner. You know, they always say history is written by the victor, you know. And that's pretty much just to say, look, you know, if I beat you, I could write history how I want it to look. You know, I could make it look like I was the hero and you was the villain, even though I was probably the villain and you was the hero, right? Stan said, yeah, Kaido does a blast breath and comes down. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. That's what I kind of was thinking, you know. Because it looked like a beam, right? It looked like a beam. It's just the reason why I wasn't sure is because before all that happened, you know, we had all that stuff going on with Kawamatsu telling everybody like, hey, it's a fire and everything. And then that happens and it kind of seemed like it could have blended in with everything else going on at the time. So all of Kaido's men pretty much trying to finish off Kid and Law, but Kid and Law's crew pretty much protecting them. You know, they're not gonna let their captains get hurt. And we see Nekamamushi, you know, telling everybody like, hey, look, man, we gotta get out of here. You know, we get a glimpse of, you know, some of the samurai, you know, pretty much everybody trying to leave, right? Everybody trying to leave. And Kid pretty much says, I'm going to fight Trafalgar. Like, no surrender, no going out without a peep. So Kid is pretty much going on. I think Law is probably genuinely tired. I don't know if he could fight anymore, right? You know, but hopefully he still tries to continue, you know, because with everything happening with Luffy right now, somebody has to stall Kaido so everybody don't die, right? And then we cut to outside of Onigashima, right, where we got Momonosuke still trying to pull Onigashima away from the flower capital. And he's pretty much saying, look, man, you know, I think I need to surrender myself. And Yamato's like, look, you know, we can't surrender. You know, that's not what samurai do, you know. And Momonosuke pretty much say, look, if we go fight Kaido, we're going to die. We're going to be more bodies piled up on all the other dead bodies. And he said, look, I should surrender. But Yamato's like, look, I'm not letting you surrender. Look, we'll probably die anyway if we surrender, or we'll be turned into slaves. And there's no life, right? Like, death is honestly better than being a slave. He says surrender is not the same as salvation. And, you know, that has Momonosuke thinking, you know. And then Yamato said, this is what the daimyo from all over Wano did when they gave their lives fighting back against Orochi. The last 20 years of Wano is riding upon this battle. If you're going to let it go to waste, then let's face death together. Which is, pretty much relating to the title of the chapter, right? We cut back into the skull. Kaido's just wreaking havoc, right? And then we see Luffy's pretty much lifeless body. And while we see that, we cut to Zoe, and Zoe says, Momonosuke, I can hear it. How long it's been? Momonosuke asks, like, what is it, Zunisha? Zunisha says, I hear the drums of liberation. For the first time in 800 years, he is here. Then Momonosuke asks, who is? Zunisha says, JoyBoy has returned. And then we cut to Luffy and we see it's like goo-like substance, right? It's goo-like substance, and it's almost like it's coming from Luffy's face, right? And we see Luffy grinning, and we get a to be continued. To be continued. And the next chapter is in 14 days. So we do indeed have a break, even though I seen the schedule of the chapters. It's supposedly we were supposed to have a chapter, but I guess we don't. I guess this might be I forgot who was telling me. I think this was either one of you two, either Angel's Room or Stan, talking about how we're going to have a break next week. You was right. You was definitely right. Desmond says Luffy got juicy. Juicy. He was chewing on some juicy fruit gum, right? The juicy fruit gummo no me. That's what this is, right? The juice. All right, y'all. So that is our chapter. I might start actually just reading through the chapter, right? Like, because I don't want this to be like a live read through, because I already read the chapter earlier, but I might just start reading the chapter. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to actually like start reading the chapter in these reactions. I mean, I know I'm recounting the chapter, so I'm kind of reading it anyway. So, like, if y'all actually just want me to read all the dialogue and everything, y'all let me know. Or if y'all just like how just kind of, I wouldn't say I breeze through it, but I'm just kind of going through it, right? I kind of go through the chapter from beginning to end. But if y'all want me to start actually like reading the chapter, let me know. And in the comments as well, anybody who isn't watching this live, let me know if y'all want me to actually start reading the dialogue. Maybe I'll try to just, read all the important dialogue or whatever. I don't know. Desmond said, this was so fire. This is new era. Yeah, man. This was definitely fire. That last panel, I'm like, oh, like even after seeing it before the chapter, I was still pretty hyped about it. I like, okay, because this is the culmination of all these theories that we've been talking about, right? All the mystery devil fruit. This chapter pretty much confirmed so many theories. Stuff that we already kind of knew, but it's just confirming. Like, it's just saying like, okay, a lot of you guys were right. The devil fruit that we was talking about. I mean, yeah, pretty much, right? Like the whole Luffy being JoyBoy thing, the whole specialness of the gummo no mi, it's pretty much confirmed, right? Like, pretty much, it's like confirmed, maybe not 100%, but it's like a 90% confirmation. Like, all we need is to get the actual devil, like we just need a reveal of what's actually going on with Luffy. Like we need it to say, we need the reveal of it, and then we could say, yeah, so it was the sun god or the Wukong, Sun Wukong, or the Nika devil fruit or whatever, that's still the mystery. Desmond said this was so fire. Oh yeah, I read that part. Angel's Room said, I believe Luffy 100% died from the attack. Kaido has future sight, so he could easily tell if someone is alive or not. No way Luffy somehow survived. He not a Nell who can't tell difference between someone who knocked out or dead. I wouldn't mind if you did. Um, you wouldn't mind if I died? Is that what you said? You know something, Angel's Room? I actually 100% agree with you. I thought, like, when I said that, like, literally after reading the chapter, I said, I believe Luffy was actually dead. You know, that's why even early in the chapter, I said his lifeless body, right? Like, I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to say that while I was reading the chapter. Because I actually was going to point that out, that I believe that Luffy died, you know, and I believe, and you know why? Because I feel as though in order for his devil fruit to awaken, like, especially if you have like a godly type fruit, you know, especially if this is a godly type fruit that we've been speculating, such as the sun god devil fruit, or the sun wukong devil fruit, or the Hanamanum, whatever. Desness, you tell me in the chat, because I know you know the name of it. The Hanoman devil fruit. I think for it to awaken, oh, you said I don't mind if you read the chapter live. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I might start doing that. If y'all want that, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this later, you know, just let me know. But because I might start doing it. I kind of like reading. I kind of like actually reading it. You know what's going on, right? And talking about what's going on instead of just kind of summarizing it. You know, that's usually what I do. I summarize it. But if y'all want me to actually read the chapter and go through each panel and page, then yeah, definitely let me know. But Angel's Room, you said you like that idea. Desness says, yeah, that would be cool. Okay. So I got two people saying it, you know, and if nobody says no, like if I don't get a couple no's, like more than 3 no's, then I might just do that. So yeah, like I think that in order for Luffy's devil fruit to awaken, he pretty much had to die, right? You know, and I mean, because Luffy, at this point, Luffy has been through so much, right? So much hardships that it's kind of like, why didn't this awaken before, right? Why didn't him awakening his devil fruit happen when he was fighting Katakuri, right? Or Lucci, when he was at the brink of death fighting them two guys, it never awakened. So I kind of believe, especially if it's a very special devil fruit, it has to awaken through death. Kind of like Brook's devil fruit, right? Like Brook had Brook's devil fruit pretty much revived him, you know. But before he was revived, it was like he didn't have no abilities, you know. He wasn't doing disconnecting with his souls, you know. So, you know, but let me ask you guys this. Let me give you guys an alternate observation of what this could signify. Now, of course, I believe that this is a devil fruit awakening, right? This is Luffy's devil fruit awakening. But what if this isn't Luffy's a devil fruit awakening, right? What if this is JoyBoy actually possessing Luffy's body? Like Luffy died, right? Let's say Luffy died and JoyBoy possessed his body to fight Kaido for him. Kind of like think about it like anybody watch Yu Yu Hakusho, right? There was, let's say, I forgot the name of the arc. I want to say this was not Chapter Black. I can't remember the name of the arc, but it was the arc after the Dark Tournament where we get Shinobu Sensei, right? And at the end, he was pretty much beating. He was beating Yusuke. He was better than Yusuke. He was like Yusuke but better, right? But Yusuke's pretty much demon great grand ancestor Rizo. I think that's Ryzen. I think it was Ryzen. He pretty much possessed Yusuke's body and defeated Shinobu Sensui for Yusuke. Yusuke was pissed about it because he wanted to be the one to defeat him. And I think I could see something like that happening, right? So, like, what if it's not really something to do with the devil fruit, but it has something to do with more JoyBoy, especially since Zoe said JoyBoy returned. Why does Zoe say JoyBoy has returned? You know, he didn't say, like, now maybe like does a devil fruit awakening mean the return of JoyBoy? Or is JoyBoy actually here? Does JoyBoy live through the devil fruit? And when you awaken the devil fruit, you pretty much bring JoyBoy? Or is this even related to the devil fruit? Or is it like maybe JoyBoy possessing Luffy, right? And of course, I don't believe Luffy's going to be, you know, because under that, guys, you could say JoyBoy possessed a dead body, so that would still mean Luffy is dead, right? And JoyBoy, it's like, so, because a lot of people would think that I'm saying like JoyBoy is going to possess Luffy's body and stay in Luffy's body, but I don't think that's the case. I think Luffy is going to be alive, right? Like, I think he's going to be revived. He's going to pretty much come back from the dead, you know. Now, is this something that's exclusively linked to, is it exclusively linked to the devil fruit, or is it exclusively linked to JoyBoy? What's going on? Or is it a mixture of both, right? Is it both of them? Is it something to do with the devil fruit or JoyBoy, right? Let me read what you guys saying. It says, Stan says it also makes sense because resin is a goo-like substance which can harden, melt, ignite, and natural rubber does come from a rubber tree. Yeah, resin. I've worked with like well, more like epoxy, but epoxy is kind of like a resin, or it is a resin. If I'm right, I correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it hardens and then it's gooey. Yeah. So are you saying it's really a resin devil fruit? Like a resin like devil fruit, not really a rubber like devil fruit. Angel's Room said, but Brook knew he had to die for his devil fruit ability to awaken. So does that mean Luffy knew he had to die for his to awaken? I don't think so. I don't remember Brook knowing he had to die, but I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't remember. I thought Brook didn't remember. I mean, I guess, I don't know, but I don't think Luffy knew he had to die, you know. I think, cause I can understand Brook knowing because the name of the devil fruit, right? Like it, you know, like I feel as though his devil fruit probably would tell him, but if Luffy's devil fruit works differently, you know, I don't think he had to know. Or I don't think he would have known. I don't think he would have known. You know, I think it's just something like Luffy wasn't trying to die. I think he just died, and the devil fruit did what it did after he died, right? Like it activated, maybe like the awakening activation, possibly, or the activation of the awakening. You know. Desna says, like Cavendish Evil Side. Oh, how it possesses. Yeah. So you saying like maybe JoyBoy could live within Luffy, right? It's kind of like another soul, right? That would actually be interesting. You know why? Because let's take the theory that I've always said about Blackbeard about the multiple souls, right? Like he has let's say he has the soul of Zebek, right? Rocks D Zebek. And Luffy has the soul of JoyBoy. You know, it's kind of like possession versus possession almost. Like, it could be like, it could be something, we could see something happen like that later, right? Like, we could see a possession versus possession, like a possessed Blackbeard versus a possessed Luffy. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Stan says, and I don't think Luffy gets possessed by JoyBoy's spirit because there has never been a reference to spirits in One Piece possessing people, so it would be weird and not something that is usual for the story. Just because it never happened doesn't mean it can never happen. You could technically say Hakuba, like what Desna said right before you said that with Cavendish. You could technically say that's a possession. You know what I'm saying? Of some soul or whatever. I believe Luffy, Desna says, I believe Luffy dies 100%. There is evidence enough. Well, what we're saying, Desna, is that Luffy, it was dead after Kaido hit him. Not that he will die. We said that he was dead. You know. I believe that Luffy might die at the end of the series, right? So, if you're just talking about Luffy dying in general, like for certain dying. Stan says, plus Kaido also hinted that Luffy couldn't be JoyBoy when he beat him, meaning that being JoyBoy is more like a title rather than being possessed by the spirit of JoyBoy. I could agree with that, but why would Zunisha, if Luffy has always held the title of JoyBoy, why did Zunisha pretty much say JoyBoy has returned at that point? He didn't say like, oh, Luffy has the title JoyBoy now. He said JoyBoy, a figure who exists before Luffy, has returned. You know, that's what he said. He said JoyBoy has returned, not like Luffy has finally awakened into JoyBoy or anything. I mean, well, that pretty much could be the return, but you know, as far as title, right? As far as title, that's what I'm saying. It's more than just a title. You know, he didn't say like if Luffy just earned the title of JoyBoy, that, you know, I don't see, you know, it wouldn't make sense to why Zunisha said JoyBoy has returned when it's just a title. Angel's Room said, why would JoyBoy possess someone when he believes in free will from what he believe? Hold on. Let me go back. I'll answer that. Well, Luffy is dead at the time. That's kind of the idea we're talking about, right? Luffy being dead and JoyBoy possessing a dead body, not possessing he's possessing a living person. And he could leave, you know, he could easily leave, right? Like, look, y'all getting this idea that I'm saying that's the case. I'm not saying JoyBoy possessing. I'm just throwing an alternate situation, right? I believe Luffy is JoyBoy, you know, and he's awakening that, you know. Desna says, but we are at Desna says, but we are at religious influence again with him awake from the dead and wake up as a goddess. I'm confused what you're saying, man. And then Stan says, plus Kaido also. Oh yeah, I read that part. Okay, I thought I skipped that. Desna says, but we are read that part again. Angel Room said, why would JoyBoy possess someone? Read that. Desna said, there is no evidence for possessing. And what's up with Cavendish? Yeah, I agree with you, Desna. You know. At least at the very least it hits something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I like Stan, like when you, I just don't like the argument that it can't happen because it hasn't happened. I don't like that argument, right? Because a lot of stuff that happens in the story was never hinted at or happened. Like, not all of it was hinted or had happened before, right? So, you know, it can't happen until it do. And that's pretty much all I'm saying. But Stan O say yes, but it's most likely that Luffy is not possessed because Oda does keep consistency. And like I said, there has never been reference to spirit possessing people. I addressed that many times. Shane Burns said, feeling like Avatar. That's how you feeling? Like Avatar? Or I get what you're saying. Kind of like when he goes into the Avatar state, right? Like that could be what Luffy does, right? He goes into the Avatar, the JoyBoy state instead of the Avatar state. What did he Angel's Room say? Sorry. Stan said because most likely the previous JoyBoy had the Gummo Gummo fruit and Zunisha does hear the drums of liberation. And he does say that takes him back, so most likely he is remembering with that past. Okay. What did he respect? Angel Room said, wouldn't he respect Luffy or respect that Luffy died the way he did? I mean, I don't know JoyBoy, man. Like I can't. We got bits and pieces of JoyBoy. I don't know how JoyBoy is, so I couldn't say I couldn't say that. And we can't say what JoyBoy would or wouldn't do. We don't know how JoyBoy is. And just because he possesses him while he's dead doesn't mean he's going to stay there, right? Like that doesn't mean he's going to hold Luffy's body against his will. He's just, it's probably like a possession just to revive Luffy, right? Just to more so revive his body, his lifeless body. Stan says JoyBoy did with the Gummo Gummo fruit. Elson Jackson said, and shout out to Elson Jackson. Welcome to the stream, and shout out to Shane because I didn't give you a shout out either. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Elson Jackson says, an indomitable will in harmony sync in unison with JoyBoy. A frequency wavelength that is being emitted that aligns with JoyBoy. Yeah. Like y'all I think y'all really kind of taking this whole possession thing out of context. Like I'm not saying he's like here to stay in Luffy's body. I'm not saying he's going to stay in Luffy's body even that long. Like I don't think he's going to stay in long enough to go fight Kaido or anything. I think, it's more just like he's in Luffy's body, right? Like JoyBoy is within Luffy. He's one with Luffy, right? But it's not like he's keeping Luffy as a slave or anything, like or holding Luffy against his will. I'm not saying none of that now. It's just a temporary thing, But and it was just something I threw out there. It wasn't like something I'm like standing firm on him being possessed. But I mean, I get you guys. I get your guys' points, though. I do get it, though. I fully, I accept those points. I'm with you on some of them. Angel's Room says, but I do like what you said, Elsa Jackson. That's a great point. Like an indomitable will in harmony, sync unison with JoyBoy, a frequency wavelength that is being emitted that aligns with JoyBoy. Like, if anything, I think it's more of an awakening, right? Like, he's awakening, like, his devil fruit, and you know that that will of JoyBoy. Like, he's awakening that will that he possesses, that JoyBoy had, right? Angel's Room said, "Am I the only one who believes JoyBoy didn't have a devil fruit?" Um, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think he might have had the same devil fruit that Luffy as well. I'm kind of with Stan on that one when he said, uh, like JoyBoy had it with the Gummo Gummo no Mi, but you know, like as far as like JoyBoy having the Gummo Gummo no Mi, I think JoyBoy does, but I don't know. I don't for sure know. You know. Uh, Desmond says, not reference spirits possessing people. Dude, did you read Whole Cake Island or Thriller Bark? Uh, Stan says those were not spirits; those were shadows. Well, in the he also said Whole Cake Island too. Angel's Room said Whole Cake Island was spirits. And then Stan said, again, those were not spirits. Those were people's lifespans. Those were souls. Like, that's literally what Big Mom deals with, souls. She can take portions of your lifespans through taking a portion of your soul, but it's still your soul, you know. Desmond says it's still the same concept: black sword, poneglyph, souls, the mind of people, lifespan, and it's all creation by the human mind, and they are connected. Yeah, I mean, look, man, your soul is, you don't have a soul, you have no lifespan, you know. So like those what Big Mom deals with, she has the soul fruit, so she deals with souls slash. I mean, you could consider souls spirits as well. So she deals with spirits, you know, technically, you know. Cause she can with those souls, she can give life to objects, right? You know, she can also put the people's souls into her body. You know, now they can't possess her because, you know, again, she her devil fruit gives her almost authority, like sovereignty over souls, you know. Angel's Room said the Soru no Mi is Promisia type devil fruit that allows the user to interact with and manipulate human souls. Yeah, man, I keep telling them. Stan, you really against that whole idea of possessions and stuff, man. Hey, man, if that's what you believe, though, bro, look, I'm not telling you. I'm not going to try to change your mind. That's fine. That's, you don't believe that it's possible for souls and spirits to come back into the story. That's fine. You know, it's just at this point, like, we ain't gonna get nowhere. We just gonna have to agree to disagree on this. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this, because I hear what you're saying. I just don't agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying, like about the idea that we haven't seen it in the story, so it can't happen, right? It's like we haven't seen anything about. We really haven't gotten any hint to what's happening with Luffy until literally maybe the same arc within it happening to Luffy, right? You know, like it's literally about this whole Luffy's devil fruit. Like the specialness of it wasn't really even hinted until, yes, you could say who's who, but who's who only just brought up the Gummo Gummo no Mi being stolen from the world government, which was a slight hint, but it wasn't really hinted that the devil fruit, the Gummo Gummo no Mi, was special until what, a couple chapters ago, right? So, but now it's here, right? Luffy's devil fruit being special. But if you want to say any time before Wano, it was never hinted at, bro. It was never hinted at. You know? So, but until it was relevant to start bringing up, that's when they started hinting it. So, like, that's why I don't like this idea that just because it was never foreshadowed or hinted before or never brought up before, that it could never possibly happen. You know, I'm just kind of on an argument against that point right there. But everything else, look, we just gonna have to disagree, or agree to disagree, right? Which is cool, bro. Which is cool, you know. Nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I do respect how steadfast you are with. I respect how steadfast you are with the fact that you're not agreeing with it, though, man. I'm not even mad at it, man. You making good points, man. You know, you do make a lot of great points, though. You do make a lot of great points. I just find that one point kind of weak, me personally, like it not happening because it was never hinted at, you know. Elson Jackington said legit shadow external versus soul internal both need vessels essentially. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Stan says also I don't know why my other messages that I type doesn't get shown. Yeah, I don't know. Like, let me read the Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any messages from you that, like, I'm looking on my phone just to see. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I'm not blocking any of your messages. So I don't know why they're not showing your messages. My bad, bro. Like, hey, just send them again. You know, send them again. I'll respond to them or whatever. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not like erasing messages or anything. Angel's Room said, I like the idea of Luffy awakening his devil fruit and coming back to life the most. I think that's the most likely of it. You know, I think that's probably what's happening. You know, I just threw that whole possession thing. Just, you know, that's just, sometimes you gotta like throw alternate, you know, situations out. You know, it's discussion. You know, it calls for discussion. I like that. You know. Desna says, yeah, no hate. It's all good. I just want to point out that it's essentially all the same. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Angel's Room said that's, or what was it? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to recall what this question is too. Refresh my memory of what you're asking from. Desna says, voice of all things, souls, hockey, poneglyphs that have a voice, black swords and souls. It's all within the same concept and is connected. And Luffy dying and reawakening is a Bible reference. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is a Bible reference to it. Yeah. Him being reviving, almost. What's the word when you come back from the dead? Not reincarnation. That's like when you're brought up to something different. I forget what it's. When you revive, basically, you know. Elson Jackington said, light is essential for both as well. Shadows can't be cast without light, and souls are shown to be some form of light, and light is life. If that makes sense, man. Y'all getting like real philosophical and biblical on here, man. Dang, dang, y'all getting philosophical and biblical on this thing. Man, y'all getting deep. But that's some deep stuff right there, Elsa. Stan says Oda also likes puns for his chapter numbers. So it's more likely the resin fruit because the pun for 1043 is ushimi, which resin fruit. Ushimi. That's interesting. Ushimi. Didn't know that. So, which is resin fruit. Good call though. Good call. I didn't know that, man. Ushimi. So what you're saying is the devil fruit, like the Gummo Gummo no Mi, is really the awakening of the resin fruit. So would that make it more similar to like Katakuri's devil fruit? You know what I'm saying? Like more like gooey, but can harden, and even though he hardens it with hockey, So but it seemed like resin would be similar to Katakuri's devil fruit. Like that's what I'm kind of getting. Angel Room saying, didn't know that. And then Sneaky Noah King, shout out to Sneaky Noah King. Welcome to the stream. He said, yo, what's good? Shout out to Sneaky Noah King. How'd you enjoy the chapter, man? Sneaky Noah King, how'd you enjoy the chapter? Angel's Room said, Pirate Jesus. Pretty much. He's here to save the world, right? He's here to save the world. Resurrection. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Desness with the save. Man, look at y'all. I don't have the best of memories. My memory, that's part of the reason why I like discussions, because you guys help me and I entertain. I'm here to entertain. I'm not some know-it-all. I don't act like I know everything about One Piece. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys out there that know a lot more than me. That's why I react to them. That's why I react to them. I react to the more knowledgeable guys. But I like to give you guys a good take, though. An interesting take with some entertaining commentary, right? Desmond says, for me, Hanuman still makes more sense, but it could be everything with Oda. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of like the idea of it being like a sun god or something, like Nika. You know what I mean? But I get where you're going, though. Resin fruit does make sense, though. Like what Stan said, the whole resin fruit idea and the numbers, like I am aware that Oda does play with numbers a lot, right? Especially with his chapters. He always drop little hints and meanings for chapters depending on what the chapter means, Desness also says, I really love Uteron's oil theory, too. Angel's Room, watch my vid about the great cleansing. One Piece has the most reference to the Bible at first. Yeah, I agree with that, I've said that in the stream before, like there's a lot of similarities to the Bible in One Piece. Especially, the most obvious ones are the Adam tree and the Eve tree. And the devil fruits are kind of like because when you look at the devil fruit and then when you look at Adam and Eve and how the whole story revolves around the fruit that the devil pretty much ate, convinced them to eat. The reference makes sense, right? Sneaky Noah King said it was good. Also, you should read Big Saki, the song that Brooks sung. It foreshadowed a lot. I actually did read it. We was doing a reaction to, I want to say it was either an O'Hara video. I want to say it was O'Hara. And there was a theory pretty much he did, and it was like a whole theory, like a series of videos he did, and pretty much the point of each video was to eventually culminate to a whole like one last video that pretty much explains what the One Piece is, right? And now I don't know if I necessarily agree with the final conclusion. Like I don't know if I agree with the final conclusion of what the One Piece is, but the theory itself, the whole series of theories he got, it's great. Like it's a very good watch from O'Hara, right? And is it O'Hara or was it Arthur? It was I think it was Arthur. I think it was Arthur. And he pretty much talks about the Bank Saki song, and ultimately the theory concluded with One Piece being Saki, right? Just being Saki. And he talks about the Bank Saki and go through each line and how they relate to like all the foreshadowing there was. So yeah, but I'm definitely familiar with that, man. I'm definitely familiar. Stan says, I don't know if you know Uteron. He is a Japanese YouTuber who is very good at predicting chapters by interpreting Oda's number puns, and so his best guess is resin or oil. I'm familiar with Uteron. I haven't watched him, but Desnes told me about him. Cube has told me about him. And matter of fact, the theory I was just talking about with Arthur, they pretty much said he got that theory from Uteron, right? Or no, it was a different theory. It was the Jaya theory, like Jaya, where like the One Piece was once at Jaya, or Laugh Tale was a part of Jaya, and then O'Hara said it sank into the sea, and then he has a theory about that where it was like it was part of Jaya, it sank to the sea, and then it became it is what, or it was what Enies Lobby is, like. So you know where we got that big waterfall in his lobby, like below that waterfall, the theory was that that's where Laugh Tale could be, and supposedly he got that theory from Uteron, or it was similar, So yeah, I don't know, I haven't really watched any Uteron videos. I'll probably check them out because I know Cube has sent me some he sent me a Uteron video. I just didn't pull it up because at that time y'all was sending me a lot of videos and I was just kind of picking and choosing, I was a little hesitant to do a Uteron video because doing a reaction video that's in Japanese, I haven't done that, right? So I would have had to sit there and translate for the people watching my stream because they might not have been able to see the translation subtitles. So that's kind of why I'm like, I don't know how well a Japanese YouTube video would translate into a reaction. I might try though. I should try. I might try. It's just I'm gonna have to probably translate some of the stuff being said because people watching my stream might not see the subtitles, or it might get cut off, Desmond said, we have 2 arcs, more Godas than you can count. Angels, Holy Land, USW. Not sure what that one is. That the war, the big war. Is that what you were saying? Doesn't say, yeah, Stan. Uteron is the man for bringing the sense of number to English people. Yeah, man. I hear a lot of great things about Uteron. Like I've heard, I have heard of him though. Matter of fact, even before Cube and Desnes told me about him, because I was watching a O'Hara video. I think it was the theory I was just talking about Jaya, and he even gives credit to Uteron, Angel's Room said, I need to watch more Uteron videos. Desmond says, yeah, Uteron is the banger and need more subs. Stan says, problem is that he does videos in Japanese. He does have subtitles to the video, but they are not very good. Yeah, and yeah, that's partially why I'm kind of hesitant to react to a Uteron video, because it's just I'm gonna be reacting to a translation, and I'm gonna have to pretty much translate that to people who might be watching that might not have seen Uteron's video, you know, and that could just add a lot right there if I have to sit there and translate. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to keep stopping and translating, you know. Desmond says language barrier between Japanese and English is high as Wano's Kunis borders. He has very good subtitles. Don't know which video you watching, but since December he got a good translator. So you're just talking about recently he's upgraded his I mean, if he got better subtitles recently, I could see why Stan might think his, you know, subtitles aren't so good. Like, especially if Stan hasn't watched his. I mean, I don't know the Uteron videos Stan watched, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he been following Uteron much longer, and the videos he's seen may not have been translated that well. You know. Where was I? He said he was very good subtitles. Best Generation. We got Best Generation in the chat. Welcome, Best Generation. Shout out to him. He said sub. Yeah, man. What's going on, Best Generation? What's your opinion on this last chapter, man? What's your opinion on this recent chapter, right? Let me know in the chat what you think. Stan says, I don't think they are very good because last video he posted, they're not very good. So Stan don't think they're very good, and Desnes does. It's one of those agree to disagree situations, right? Desnes says, sorry, USW means etc. in German. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought you was talking about like a situation. That's how I know. What up? Best Generation said, that's how I know him. Doing great. How you, Desnes? Are you saying you're subscribed to Uteron? Yeah, I need to check out his videos though, man. You know, it's just you know, a video like that might be hard to translate through a reaction. That's why I haven't done any Uteron. But I'm gonna check his video out. You know, everybody's saying he's great, so I might check a video out and then check one video out and then see, you know, the best way to go about doing a different, like maybe a different video from Uteron. You know. Sneaky Noah King says, in Bink Saki, the sun they are talking about was the sun god, Nika, which is Luffy. Then the moon is the Shimotsuki, which means frost moon, which is Zoro. And both of them are on death's door to bring the dawn. Bro, like, yo, man, that is bars right there. I like what you just said, man. Like, I never looked at it that way, right? I never looked at Zoro being the moon. You know, I could see the Luffy being the sun god, though, right? But Zoro being the moon, like the moon god possibly or whatever, and they both are at death's door. And I've said that, right? Like I said I could see Luffy and Zoro, since they're both at like death's door. You know, like I said this in a previous stream, that maybe they might go through some type of transformation, right? Like I said that maybe they might see spirits. That might not happen, right? That like especially with Luffy since he's already going through a transformation. There's no need to see a spirit and go through a transformation. Zoro still could possibly. I don't know who he I guess he would see Ryuma, but at this point maybe not. But yeah, I do think them both being near death is going to be a catalyst for something. And I did say that. I've mentioned that before, right? But I like where your head is on that though. I like where your head is right there. That is some interesting things, right? And I mean, there's other people that's had death story, but I don't know what happened with them. Desnes says back in the day before Ohara, I watched Uteron with generated auto translated subtitles. Was a wild guess every time. And he said, yeah, Zoro awakening next. Yeah, maybe we might see like Zoro. Maybe he might awaken his eye. I'm playing. Bro, look, I'm gonna say this. I know a lot of people like the whole idea of Zoro having some special type of eye. I don't know if it's. I think Zoro just lost an eye personally. Like sometimes I feel as though sometimes we take every single thing Oda does and give it some type of a meaning, right? When sometimes it's just exactly what it is, right? Like maybe, and I think it's exactly what it is. I think Zoro just doesn't have his eye, right? Or maybe it's injured, so he keeps it closed. But if there's something with Zoro's eyes, hey man, this might be the best time to do something with it. Either that, a black sword, like a black blade, or black blade maybe. Either one of those two situations. Something with his eye, if there is indeed something up with his eye, or a black blade, right? Where was I? Zoro awakening next. Best Generation said, I feel totally vindicated on like 30% of my theories. But other than that, I have controversial takes. Hey, it sounds like I might have to react to a Best Generation video coming up soon, talking about some controversial takes. I'm curious to know what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to know what your takes are now that we got some confirmation on some aspects, and I want to know what your thoughts are on this. So yeah, I might have to. If you drop a video, I might have to check you out, man. We might have to do a reaction stream, and and or you're always more than welcome to come on one of my streams. I'm always welcome to have people do like have interviews, or I don't know if I say interviews, but like discussions with other content creators. But if you drop a video, definitely let me know. I'll do a reaction to it, because I'm curious what your takes are. I mean, you could talk about them here, but even if you do a video, I might still react. Best Gen said, "Wowee." What I think is not recognized is that Zunisha and Into the Narrator said that JoyBoy has returned. I mentioned that, right? Because for me, I feel as though if this was just an awakening, what does JoyBoy returning have to do? Like, is it like when you awaken the devil fruit, you become JoyBoy or something? Is it like a JoyBoy devil fruit? Is that why he's returned? Like when you eat his devil fruit, you become him? Or, maybe because JoyBoy was the reincarnation of Sun God Nika, if this is a Nika devil fruit, the Sun God devil fruit or whatever, maybe that awakens JoyBoy within the person who is carrying his will. I don't know, but I found that curious that Zunisha would say JoyBoy return for something that could be interpreted as a devil fruit awakening. Like, what does the devil fruit awakening have to do with JoyBoy returning? You know, you know, like, is JoyBoy connected with, like, is JoyBoy connected with the awakening of this devil fruit? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I was mentioning earlier. That's why, like, earlier I said something about what is JoyBoy possessing Luffy's body, and then everybody was like, "Oh no, hell no!" No. I'm like, bro, like, him saying JoyBoy is returned. That's not just some awakening lingo, right? But I don't know. That's kind of why I threw that out there, because I found it interesting. Zunisha said that specifically. Desna says, "BS, you're using English words that I must look every time. Where you got the bag of words?" Oh, my bad. I don't know. I try to sound smarter, so I just use I research words that I could use. Now these are just words I picked up that sometimes I'll use every once in a while. I try not to use big words though, but sometimes those words just kind of explain what I'm talking about. Like the best, and most English speakers, like people who grew up speaking English, or at least here in America, right? A lot of them understand what it is, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if I have to make you look up words, man. But I'm not that smart though, man. I'm not that smart. Angel's Room said, "I don't know about Zoro being the moon, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Was a pretty cool lyric." Yeah, I never heard any theory about Zoro being the moon, but that was interesting though, man. Like, because Shimoski are heavily tied with the moon, right? So maybe there's some validity in that, right? Maybe there's some validity into what Sneaky Noah King said. It was an interesting theory to me. Desmond, you was talking to Best Jen there. My bad. I thought you was talking to me. My bad. Stan says, "Yeah, I think the Zoro part is kind of a stretch." It might be. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I love interesting takes. Like, even if I don't believe your take, I like if it's interesting and you have at least something to back it up, or if it's just interesting, I'll definitely hear it out. But I do find it like interesting that both Zoro and Luffy are both at death's door, and Luffy is awakening at this point. So, I feel as though Zoro can get some type of power up or something, and I think he kind of needs one, right? I think he would need one. I know he had Enma, but seeing how Sanji got like a power up when he got the raid suit, and it was like Sanji's power up, like early in this arc, was the raid suit, and then Zoro's power up was Enma, and then they was fighting the commanders. So they was fighting the Beast Pirates commanders, and then Sanji had another power up, right? He had his DNA pretty much making him like the other Vinsmokes. His body was hardening. His DNA was pretty much awakening, you could say. He was awakening his Vinsmoke blood, and so I feel as though now that kind of leaves Zoro as the odd man out, right? And you could even put Luffy in there. His upgrade early in this arc was the hockey awakening. What's it called? Rio, right? That was Luffy's upgrade. Now Luffy's about to get his second upgrade. It's like all three of the monster trio had one awakening or one upgrade. They all had at least one upgrade. Zoro and Luffy and Sanji both had two upgrades. So, Zoro's next upgrade could be a black sword, like Enma Black Sword or something. You know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know about Best Generation said where I just lost it. Best Generation said, and she said that because she heard the drums of liberation, aka the VO, the voice of all creations, right? That only JoyBoy was able to use. So it doesn't mean that JoyBoy, the same entity, has returned, but the one who has the ability is called JoyBoy. Oh, okay. So you saying Luffy? So pretty much an awakening. That's pretty much and I agree with you. I never said JoyBoy is like the is like physically here, right? And I don't think he's gonna stay or remain. I kind of threw out the alternate idea, the alternate theory. Because me personally, my initial and my primary thought on what happened with Luffy was, I do think it's something he's awakening. I do think it's something to do with his devil fruit, right? And him pretty much ascending to his JoyBoy title more so. I think it's kind of an ascension of Luffy. And in this ascension, I think his devil fruit is awakening as well. But I've thrown the alternate possibility that, JoyBoy could be possessing Luffy's body, right? Like the will of JoyBoy is possessing Luffy's body. Desna says Luffy is melting and Zoro gets turned to stone. Can't. And then Best Jen said, can't wait for your take on that. Yeah, man, once you drop it, let me know, man. Hit me up on Twitter. You can send it to me on Discord. You could, or I'll just check it out. Because usually when I tell somebody I'm gonna go check out a video, I try to keep my eyes peeled, But sometimes, I gotta be reminded. I gotta see it. I gotta see the video pop up on YouTube or something. Desmond says, Best Jen knows what's up. Sneaky Noah King said, gotta watch Uteron at 0.05 speed. So you can catch everything, I guess. Best Jen said, he said, concerned dog. Wow, would love to jump on. Oh, hey man, like hey, I'm always I like having, because I've done I've done a stream with, like, I got a friend who also drops content, E-Lids. I've said it plenty of time. I've done streams where I reacted to his videos and then I had him on kind of to explain a lot of his topics, right? And sometimes I have my own like questions about what he said, and I talk about a video. So it's more kind of like a post-reaction interview of with the person I reacted to, right? So, but yeah, I can, I don't know if you use Zoom, but I think I could probably work with Discord as well, right? I think I could, yeah. I know a lot of people got Discord. A lot of people don't really mess with Zoom though. Best Jen said, and Holy, you thought the same thing. Damn. Again, being exposed as a tool. But be yourself. Damn, being exposed as a tool, man. Damn. Hey, man. We got, I got just the mind, man. It's not being the tool, man. It's just that mind, man. I got that pudding eye. I got a pudding eye, and it has categories observation hockey, right? So there's that. Best Jen said, let me jump on now. Would love to ask in real time. Okay. I mean, we could do that, man. I mean, I don't what you got Discord or Zoom? Cause I would kind of have to set it up, right? So but I could set it up right now. I just got to know which one you could at least use. Um, cause I don't have like I don't know if people like I know some of the streaming software that people have you can do that as well, but yeah, I use Streamlabs and Streamlabs don't let me do any type of video calling or anything. But I do have. But if you got Discord though, that definitely work. Um, Cube in the building. Finally, man. You know Cube. Come on, Cube, bro. Like, come on now. Come on, Cube. Come on, Cube. You know the stream don't start without you, bro. Come on now. You like almost 2 hours late, bro. um. Cube says, "Sorry, I was busy. Listen to the drums of liberation." Yeah, man, them drums are loud right now. Food for thought. Best Jen said that everyone can become JoyBoy. He tried to be it and even has a hobby to kill himself, ascending like Luffy. Oh, like Kaido, right? Yeah, Kaido kind of proved that. Oh, so you think that's why Kaido been trying to kill himself to ascend like Luffy? Okay, that's interesting, man. That like Kaido must know something, right? Kaido must really know something. Amir Discord in video chat. Best Gen for the next stream. My bad. There is like a 3-minute delay. I mean, I could add you now, but unless you want, we could do a separate stream where I could actually build it up, right? Like we could actually build a stream up and we could talk. We could do that tomorrow. But if you want to do it now, that's cool as well. But cause you said for next stream, so I don't know if you want to. There's like a 3-minute delay. So just let me know, man. I'm gonna pull up Discord though. No, I'm gonna let you tell me, man. I'm gonna let you tell me if you want to really do this, then if you want to do this now, we could do it now, or we can actually set up a stream tomorrow or Tuesday. You know, if that works better, and I could create it could even be a dual stream if you want, right? We could do it on voice it could be a dual stream, or if you want. You don't have to. I don't know if you stream or anything. Just let me know, brother. Just let me know, and I'm gonna go check out Discord right now, though. Man, we ain't even really talk about any of the other part of the chapter, right? Like, we ain't talk about nothing else in the chapter. We just talked about all right, you said all right, well let's talk then. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull you up right now, bro. I'm gonna pull you up right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna accept you. I'm in your voice chat. You still there? Okay, I see you. I'm coming. Yo. Say something. I'll make sure I got you.
Finally.
All right, cool. I hear you.
I hear you on Discord, I think. Yeah, I think my mic is on.
I hear you.
Oh, out. No, I can't hear you.
Okay. In the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear Best Generation. because we do
Did
have
I
him.
took the stream, so I can hear you, but I don't.
You don't hear me? Like you hear me through the stream?
Oh, yo.
Hold on.
Shit. Okay, now I can hear myself on stream, but yeah, I still can't hear you on. You have to exactly go into your Discord settings
Yeah.
and your outputs, and then to the mic you're using or the microphone.
Can you hear me now? I don't think you can hear me. Hold on, guys. Output. Can you hear me? You there? Hold on.
Interrupting. I don't even know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I turned up my mic a little bit.
You hear me? I hear you. I guess you don't. You hear me now?
Yeah, finally. Let's go.
All right, because I got like a bunch of different outputs. I had to find the right one. My bad. If you hear it, can y'all hear Best Gen in the chat? Let me know. Press 1.
They should hear right.
They should. I'm gonna try here. You hear me now? Yeah.
Or we just talk and then tell us if it sucks. They will inform us for sure. They are the chat. They have to.
Yeah, I got a couple ones. All right, so welcome Best Generation to the stream. Shout out to Best Gen.
Thank you very much.
So okay. What's this controversial take that you got? I want to hear it from you.
The first thing that was controversial that you actually agree with is that it wasn't said that JoyBoy has returned. And of course the entire community is going crazy right now. And they're taking it way too literal instead of like taking a step back and realize, wait a second, it's not communicated what they all think it is.
Okay.
Like, it's not like JoyBoy is Luffy. Like they're saying basically JoyBoy is Luffy, like it's the same person.
All right.
Which it's totally not, or it's not being stated. And
so you disagree?
Like,
So you disagree that I believe that Luffy is JoyBoy?
Oh, no. I think you agree with this, right? That's why I was confused that you even had the same idea. You said that you read the chapter and noticed too that Zonisha said it and not the narrator. Which makes all the difference.
Okay.
So that's why I said that was a little bit controversial. Other controversial stuff is everybody thinks Luffy is a zone, which is, I think that is so bad. That is so bad. Like, where to even begin with this?
Okay. So, because
that is definitely controversial.
Yeah, I definitely asked that before because I was like, so if because I've heard theories where people talk about that he might have the Sun God Devil Fruit, right? And
right.
Or the Nika Devil Fruit, or the Sun Wukong Devil Fruit, and I've said, like, if that is the case, what kind of Devil Fruit would that be? Would that be like a Promethea, like a special Promethea? Would it be a special zone, kind of like Sengoku, possibly?
Yeah, like a mythical zone. Something like this.
Yeah, kind of like the heat, like a Hito no Mi, a Buddha. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like a god, right? You know. That's more pertaining to that theory, though. Like, if it is indeed Sun Wukong or whatever, you know.
And that is the consensus right now. Everybody believes that.
Okay.
Everybody, all the big YouTubers, they're basically stating this is a fact. This has been confirmed. Even though, in my view, what you actually see in the video that you reviewed, that video, if you follow it to its logical conclusion or what's being stated there and just rephrase it a little bit, this is exactly what kind of happened here in the chapter. Maybe, of course, I'm biased, of course, because I made the video, so I'm seeing it that way. I recognize that too. So, but, for example, like that Luffy has the ability with his voice of all creation to make people follow him according to their will. That is like just another way of stating the drums of liberation, quite frankly. It's just like
Yeah.
a fanciful way of stating that.
Okay.
So when that happens for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally vindicated. Totally vindicated. Like, I'm like, I knew exactly this is going to happen, and this is what JoyBoy's ability was. That's
Yeah.
even what it's like exactly what I was talking about. I even said like that Luffy now surpassed Roger, and that he has mastered now all shades of Haki, so max spiritual growth. What happens? He returns as JoyBoy. Like, what the fuck? This
Yeah.
happened like
That
in the
makes
chapter.
sense.
So I'm
It
like, that's why I expect this kind of to happen. Or like, oh, I see it, and the community is like stuck on this fucking mythical zone, and I'm like, are you retarded? Like, what are you not understanding here, man?
And it's funny you bring up the voice of all creation, because like when Luffy was out, like me and there was a few people that I think like I'm not sure if it was Angel's Room or Stan, a few of us said like he could like Luffy might have been actually dead, right? Because I kind of think Luffy was really dead. Like this is why all this was able to happen. So and when he died, we noticed how Kid and Law and even Momonosuke pretty much said they couldn't hear Luffy's voice anymore, right? Like they
Yeah,
even mentioned they couldn't hear his voice.
yeah. And by the way, the community already again they didn't recognize that. They kind of were like, yeah, doesn't mean that Luffy is dead. Yes, definitively it means that
Yeah,
because it was already established twice with Aisa that when voices disappear, it means somebody is dead.
yeah,
Dead, no discussion. Kobe, same thing at Marineford. Voices disappeared, people died. In this chapter, Law, Kaido, and Momonosuke, all three fought because Luffy's voice disappeared. It means he's dead. The characters in the stories think it means you're dead if that happens.
yeah,
So yes, Luffy died.
yeah.
It happened.
No,
And
I
then he
agree
was
with you. I think he was
resurrected.
definitely dead.
Yeah. And then he got resurrected. So it's kind of interesting. And then with the cross shape, like Jesus Christ on the ground, JoyBoy returned. He reached the max spiritual growth. It
Yeah.
all makes sense. Like
So
so.
so what happened with that last panel, right? Is this
Mhm.
is this a do you think this is more of the something with Luffy being Joy Boy or his devil fruit? Or is it like both? Would you say it's
Definitely
both?
JoyBoy. Definitely
Okay.
JoyBoy. But it wouldn't surprise me if like Luffy is because it's rubber devil fruit. Rubber is in nature is like resin.
Mm-hmm.
Some like from a tree, and it looks exactly actually the same way as this. So
Yeah.
like resin coming from a tree. That's exactly what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
So even if it's like his awakened devil fruit that he like has like resin, golden resin or some shit,
Yeah.
uh, it's okay if it's devil fruit awakened for me.
Mm-hmm.
Though the only question is, this doesn't answer the whole fundamental problem. Why is Luffy resurrected and why is he not dead? Like, how did he make this happen? If his fruit awakened, where does he get the energy from or some shit? Like this is some magic bullshit, right? If that is the answer, that he just awakened, what the
Yeah.
fuck, why is he still alive? That doesn't answer the question, right?
Yeah. And that's why I kind of thought the possession could be a good explanation for it. Because it's
Mm,
like
I
if
like that. I like that.
and again, I don't have it fully thought out because I just read this chapter today. Like I read this
Mm-hmm.
chapter a couple
Yeah,
hours ago, so it's
yeah,
like
okay.
a
Makes
lot of
sense.
this is just still new. I haven't really even had much time to process it. Like every time I go into these streams, I hardly ever have time to actually process the chapter. So sometimes some of the stuff I have to say isn't as thought out as some of the people in the chat who've read the early scans. But I kind of looked at it as like he died, right,
Mm-hmm.
and then he comes back to life, and you also got Zunisha talking about like, oh, Joy Boy is here. You know what I'm saying? Joy
Mm-hmm.
Boy has returned after 800 years. Like he's actually physically there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like he haven't met Luffy before. Why didn't he call Luffy Joy Boy to, back in the Zo arc, So
Yeah.
something about this is abnormal, right?
Mhm. Yeah, the dreams of liberation, that is the unique thing. That is the one thing that no character in the series ever showed.
Mm-hmm.
That is what JoyBoy defines JoyBoy. And by the way, this is what actually like ran on Twitter or something like this, or even YouTube theories made this about JoyBoy being like in books. That this has something to do with like this drum thing, where like in I don't know, in African mythology or something like this, there's this JoyBoy character who like dances, people cheer on, he can like free their mind, all of that stuff. So basically, that got confirmed as well.
Yeah.
That this is more like a not title or like a something like a god, but I don't think. Okay, okay, I can't say that. I'm about to say so. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no.
Hey man,
But yeah, I don't think that JoyBoy will be there. Will be a mythical zone JoyBoy. I think that would be a little bit okay.
You hate the idea of it being a zone, right?
You hate I do actually. If I'm gonna be completely honest, it's like because it's like it's so basic. It's so basic to say, oh, Luffy changed his face, so that's why he has a mythical zone. It's like, can you chill the fuck out for 2 seconds? And so focus maybe like on the voice of our creation, the drums of liberation. Not you, I'm just joking.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I know you're just speaking like that's what you be thinking when people talk about it being a zone. I got what you're
just
saying.
Because his face changed, or like there's something on his face. Yeah. Like that's why he's a zone. Are you for real? Like nothing in his face even changed, like not the structure or anything. He just has something on his head, like goo.
Yeah, a lot of people take stuff and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I try to give like different views. I try to give different views, you know,
which I respect. Because people put like work and they think about it, they do the video, they do the effort. There has to be respected to a certain extent.
Yeah, of course. Of course. You know, I definitely respect people who even when I disagree with a content creator, I gotta respect the fact that they put that much thought and effort into what they did. You know what I'm saying? Even when I think something, I'm like, man, that's a stretch, but you know, I thought it was a good theory. If it's well thought out, I consider it. Even if it's a stretch, I'm like, look, I thought it was good.
By the way, they're right in a certain way, because the person, for example, who made the Sun Wukong video, of course, Luffy is Sun Wukong. Yeah. Symbolically, he is that character. So he takes it a little bit literal by giving the possibility that it's a devil fruit. So, but the idea still is correct in a sense. Yes, not in this direction, but the idea in general is correct. So it still has value and meaning, and it's worth talking about it. Well, it's good that at least people realize that yeah, of course, he's Sun Wukong.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. Hold on, my phone about to die. I'm just looking for a charger. But yeah, like there's definitely like I think sometimes with like theorists, sometimes they do take stuff a lot like real literal. You know, it's not something I personally hate or anything, but I'm like a little too literal right there. You know what I'm saying? A little too literal, but you know, I can still rock with the idea. You know, because there's still some good ideas. You know, like a lot of the ideas that come from these theories are good, even though sometimes like I was like again I watched I'm not sure if it was I think it was O'Hara. His theory was like the One Piece is like sake, right? Like that's what the One Piece is. Right. And I'm like, I don't know if it's sake. I think like just imagine going through all this for some sake, right? But it wasn't. Right. He put it so well together that I was like, yo, this is a great theory. Even kind of got me saying like maybe it could be sake, but I'm like, I don't know if it's sake. You know what I mean? But
I have actually a hot take on that because I made a response to that.
Oh.
And actually, yeah, because I love Arthur from Library of O'Hara, and I said too, he's like even though we kind of knew already from part 1 that he goes with the Bing Sake route, and like everybody's like, please, for the love of God, don't let it be Bing Sake. And like in the chat, when it was live, please don't let it be Bing Sake. And then it was Bing Sake, and he got a lot of hate for that. But you still gotta respect Arthur. He's like did some of the greatest stuff for the community.
Yeah.
And the amount of efforts he put in. So,
but I was kind of thinking the same when I was watching that video. Like, is this going towards sake?
Yeah. But it's funny that we align in the same way as well because, yeah, I think that he's onto something with the Bing Sake, but he's kind of missing the point with Bing Sake, which is kind of funny. Because how to say this properly? Because this will be a little bit controversial, and nobody has said this, by the way, except for me. I don't know, it's original take.
Okay.
So when, and this might sound weird, I don't know even how to say this properly. When the Straw Hats go to Laughdale, or the reason why Roger left, of course, if Bing Sake is at Laughdale, like assuming it's true, it's there, what will be the point of it? Like, what was the point of sake in the story, the literal point?
Yeah.
Why do people drink sake?
Yeah.
It's to become brothers, right?
Exactly.
That was the point, is to become brothers. So if Bing Sake is at Laughdale, won't be the whole point as to see that the Straw Hats go there and the Roger Pirates went before them, and then they will realize the true history, all of that stuff, the past, the ancient pact with the Kozuki, the Minks, JoyBoy, maybe Elbaf, maybe other nations we don't know, Shadori, all of that stuff. They made this ancient pact in the past, and the sake bottle or something is called Bink on top. Binks, it's called Binks or something, or the guy who brewed it is called Binks.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called Bink sake. So the point will not be like that the world is gonna like do a party with the sake. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's kind of idea. Cause like I was. Go ahead, my bad.
That's kind of a little bit like, no, if we're gonna go there, Arthur. Sorry, I love you, Arthur. I love your takes. But if Bing Sake will be at Laughdale, then it will tell us, we made it. We, the people who are supposed to be here, made the same friends, the same alliance, and we made it. That's why we are laughing. That's why we are celebrating.
Yeah.
That will be the whole point of the Bing Sake. And he kind of missed out on that entirely. He forgot about that whole storyline about the sake being like a brotherhood thing. It's like, that's why it was, and that's why I made a response video, and I said that too. So Bing Sake might be there, but it's not the end all be all. Plus, it doesn't solve basically almost all the issues of the One Piece world, like the red line. How Arthur said that the like ancient weapons can destroy the red line. I don't believe that. I think that's not demonstrated at all. I think it's even basically heavily indicated that it's impossible that the ancient weapons can destroy the red line.
So you don't think that's the goal? You don't think destroying the red line is the goal?
It is the goal, and that is why he didn't answer the question. He thought he answered the question when he said like the ancient weapons can destroy the red line. He said, I think that Pluton can destroy the red line or something like this. But it can't. It's like it misses that the like red line is indestructible. It's like from like a narrative perspective, it has no holes. It's perfectly constructed. Goes one time around the world. It's coded with this red technology that makes things indestructible, like the pornoglyphs. Like there's this whole fucking mystery with the red line. Who created it? Who built it? Why did Nami tell us that it's an amalgamation of islands? So different islands were combined in the red line. So somebody must have constructed it with different islands. It's like this whole fucking plot. And he kind of didn't mention it at all. So even though I love Arthur, I love his take. That's why I have some controversial stuff to say about that. It's funny that you mentioned it, and you felt it the same way too. That was like a lot of stuff is missing here. Like, a lot of stuff is missing.
Let me get a second real quick. I just want to read some. We got One Life Man in the chat. Shout out to One Life Man. He said JoyBoy probably have an immortal devil fruit. I don't know about immortal because he died. He died. Yeah, unless you mean like a reincarnation type thing. But and then we got Towser in the chat. He said, "Hi, what's up, Towser? Welcome to the chat, Towser, and welcome to the chat, One Life Man." I'm gonna read the rest of the chat after this discussion. So I just want to give Best Generation time to speak his mind. Right?
Sorry, I didn't want to pop off, but it seemed like that's exactly what you wanted. Hopefully,
huh?
With like I don't want to take all the time up, but it seems like we look kind of the same way at other theories.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just share that because this is like probably something you felt too.
Yeah.
Stuff is lacking.
Yeah, I'm always trying to like, because a lot of people take stuff at face value. So I'm trying to like, I try to be open and look at the different avenues, you know, and you know, I know I say some off the wall stuff sometimes too. I know. Sometimes I say it just for the sake of discussion though, you know, but I mean, sometimes I kind of, you know, I got like, I've been saying so long, like I've been saying, look, I think Kaido might win at the end of Wano, right? Like, I mean, now I don't think he's gonna win at the end of Wano because I think Luffy might come back and with this new power up that, you know, seems like an obvious power up.
His ass whooped.
Yeah,
he's about to get his ass whooped.
Yeah, but I say like Kaido is probably going to defeat Luffy in this battle, and he's defeated him. You know, like we got the Oda box and everything, right?
Yeah, and, officially he already lost. That's true.
Yeah, but you know, but I think Oda set it up in a way where it's like he's making it to where Luffy has a sensible way of defeating it. Like I didn't think Luffy could beat Kaido as he was. You know, like that was always my thing. I didn't think Luffy could defeat him as he was. And if he's getting a significant upgrade, then cool, you know.
What is your take on how Luffy is able to like be alive? Like where does he get the energy from? Like if its body has no energy anymore, it's like gone. His voice is gone.
Yeah.
Where did he get the energy from? What did happen there?
That's actually what I've been questioning this whole time, man. For real, that's actually like how like a devil fruit awakening does not explain coming back from death, right? Unless you got like Brooks devil fruit. That's the only time it would really make sense that a devil fruit would cheat you out of death. So that's kind of why I posed the idea that JoyBoy could have possessed his body. You know, even if it's just like a momentary thing, you know, like JoyBoy actually is reviving Luffy pretty much, or at least Luffy is awakening JoyBoy within him. I guess if you know if you want to subscribe by the idea that Luffy is JoyBoy, like one of those takes, you know, because I think JoyBoy could be something like people are candidates of JoyBoy, right? Like kind of like it's like a candidacy, because I've said like. I also believe Blackbeard has just as much chance to become Pirate King as Luffy does. But according to how stories work, Luffy's going to be the Pirate King at the end of the series. So, I mean, that's kind of moot at that point. But just how Blackbeard is set up, he's kind of looked at as the anti-Luffy, right?
That's true.
But yeah, that's kind of my take. I don't
for that.
Huh?
There's actually a reason for how they say. Nah, we will not get into this. Actually, this might be the video that I want you to review.
Yeah.
I have like this 35-minute dissertation on the Will of the and I'm not kidding, it's done. For me, it's 100% solved with that one. I'm like, this is basically canon, man. This is basically canon, dude. And so I don't know. Maybe I want your reaction on that because I think you will agree with like 90% easily.
Yeah, I don't want you dropping everything on this stream, man. Like I don't want to ask you too much because I feel as though you didn't gave me a lot, so I don't want to ask you too much and because you might have some of these some of these points that we've been talking about. You probably got them planned, so I don't want you to give too much. So, but I'll let you speak if you got any other points you want to talk. You know, but I'm gonna let you decide what you want to say.
Well, I want your reactions on more ideas. You can have them. No worries. There's enough here for everybody. You said that JoyBoy like interacted with Luffy or like resurrected him, and this is actually possible. With like how do you say, with like the stuff that can be at Wano, or where Luffy is right now, because he has the Straw Hat with him. The Straw Hat is like Roger's soul is in the Straw Hat properly.
Yeah.
And if it's JoyBoy's Straw Hat, how about that? Maybe finally, now that Luffy awakened his voice of all creation, he can finally now draw JoyBoy's soul out of the Straw Hat.
Yeah.
Is that possible? Does it sound hard?
To like the like drawing the soul. Oh, so you're saying like maybe there's some lingering, like JoyBoy's will or his soul is within the Straw Hat.
Of course, like what is conducting, how do you say, this swirling energy in a One Piece world? It's like trees.
That's actually a great question. Like if like there's something in the hat still, right? But my only argument against, huh?
It's out of wood. That's why.
Yeah.
Bring it up the Straw Hat specifically.
My only argument against that would be JoyBoy. Like, okay, because I don't know for sure, so I'm not sitting here saying this is a good argument, but I always kind of thought that hat that was in the straw hat that was in Mary Joa was JoyBoy's hat, right? And if that's
how nice would it be? This is a big bait, big bait. The greatest red herring in manga history. The big straw hat.
Oh, so that was okay. So that's not even a relevant straw hat, is what you're saying. Like
no,
we're made.
Don't know, but it could be, I suppose. It's like,
yeah, that's
I'm just
interesting.
playing around. I'm not definitively set. There are many variations for how JoyBoy could have interacted with Luffy.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, because I got a take, and I don't know how you would feel, but I've said a bunch of time that I believe that there's the possibility of spirits coming to Wano, right? Like we got the whole Fire Fest going on where it's pretty much communicating with spirits. So if that is indeed the case, I've said that we might see some dead characters come back to Wano, right? We might see we could possibly see Ace, we could possibly see Odin. There'll be some closure between him and his kids and some of the samurai. I've also talked about Ace coming back to talk to Otama, Yamato, maybe Luffy. And I'm thinking, JoyBoy was a person, JoyBoy was out, alive at one point. So if that's the case, maybe this fire festival, like why he came back to life, is maybe he really did get possessed. And we also have Zoro, who is also at death's door, just like Luffy currently is. So that might also, he might see spirits as well. I don't know. But I think this could be something even associated with dead spirits coming back to Wano. Because I've been saying that. I'm not even the only person that said that. But what's your thoughts?
On people returning from the dead?
Just maybe seeing spirits. Yeah. So yeah.
Seeing spirits. I don't know, the drums of liberation there. What would be the extent of it?
Like what? Like what's the point in having the spirits?
Yeah, it's like freeing voices. It could have an effect, like some Final Fantasy you didn't play, like getting some spirits out of the shadow realm. Yeah, why not?
Let me.
Possible.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's that's an answer. You kind of on the edge about it. It's not something you're really sold on, but
yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Like, that's fair. I just kind of said that because I feel as though it could be a reason what's going on with Luffy.
No, it's a Ghost Piece is in a way vindicated. Ghost Piece is vindicated because a dead person apparently did return with JoyBoy.
Bro,
and even Luffy kind of returned.
Facts.
Even Luffy died and kind of got resurrected. So dead people returned, dude.
Hey, right? All right.
Even and this is what I mean too with with theories can be true still, because in a way it's true. In a way, the dead returned. So
that's true. If Luffy was in fact dead, because that's kind of like just something that we kind of think that happened, right? So, but yeah, so you got anything else
another possibility that would may be interesting what happened here with JoyBoy. There something has been told to us that is stored within Zunisha, or that could be stored with Zunisha. Maybe that is like the energy that Luffy drawn on
That
like
well?
JoyBoy's energy stored there. Something, and it's a tree too.
That well tree?
Yeah, something that was shown like with the whale tree.
Yeah.
Is that what happened there?
Like maybe Joy Boy's energy was in the well tree.
Hmm. By the way, this is what I expect to that we see in the next chapter, like that we get like immediate and cut off from how like Luffy transformed, like what happened, because we like didn't see it intentionally, and often we get in like a scene where we then see what fully happened there. So we might actually see like that there was like a whole full process how like Luffy got sent back from the dead.
Oh, okay. So we might see the process of how it got there. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Dang,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting.
So maybe we get like
I
a
hope we get
scene
a
teaser.
process. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Oh, wait,
you
I had
got.
a third possibility.
I
I
don't. I
was
don't. I don't want to
popping
ask
up.
you anything no more because I know you probably got some gems that you probably holding off for some videos.
Oh, no
So
worries.
I'm a.
Don't want to annoy you.
Oh no, you're not. You're not annoying me. You're not annoying me. I just don't want you to like give any. I know you probably want to save some of that sauce that you got in your head. So I
I'm
don't
good.
want
I'm
to
just
try
gonna
to draw it
repeat it.
out.
I'm just gonna no problem. I'm just gonna repeat. No,
So
I will not tell anybody. Promise.
let me read some of these chats. Yeah, I don't know if you want to stay for me to read these chats, but you can. You're more than welcome. But I want to read. I want to read some of these chats.
All right.
Desna says maybe our Joy Boyo is actually Bongo Dongo, and Luffy hit the drums and everyone happy. What? Bongo Dongo.
He's kind of right.
Bongo.
I see where it's coming from.
Angel's Room said for Luffy, he had two. He had Rio and Conqueror's coding. Zoro had two. Enma, Conqueror's coding. Sanji had two. Raid Suit and DNA Awakening is how I've. So you talking about the upgrades? I don't know if I would consider Conqueror's coding a official awakening because it was never like they just pointed it out like, oh yeah, Conqueror's coding. I don't know. But I think Zoro might get another. I'm just saying, I think Zoro might get another upgrade. What you think about like Zoro possibly getting an upgrade with this?
The blacking of the sword. I don't know if it's ready yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if he like wakes up from the dead and then be like, then he has like the sword is suddenly black or something.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Actually, kind of makes sense, especially if like Zoro's like related to the whole ice circle thingy, bending of the
Oh.
will,
Yeah.
situation, and that mystery is kind of related with the voice of all creation. So yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Hot take: Zoro might have voice of all creation.
Okay.
It's
I
an
mean,
exclusive.
we know he has the what's that thing called, the not the voice of all creation of things, the breath of all things. We know he has he tapped into that before. So Cube said, fun fact, overtaking an anime intro start with drums, like the overtaking dun 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 dun. Yeah, it does. So maybe that's just a musical choice though. I don't know. But I was about to read your comment. I was about to say, Best Gen said, Kaido kind of proved that too, that everyone can become Joy Boy. He tried to be it, and see the whole. I mean, you might be onto something. Like I never really thought about it. Like why would Kaido want to kill himself just because Whitebeard died? I mean, I guess the general consensus was that Kaido is obsessed with having a glorious death. So that's but I don't know. Maybe he was trying to tap into some Joy Boy power.
Because I would say that this is the thing with the two sides of the same coin. That like Kaido is like the dark Joy Boy, or the Joy Boy that wanted to be Joy Boy, but couldn't become Joy Boy. So these parallels will still be true, like that they both have like are related to death, or that they have to die to become Joy Boy. Kaido wants to die. That's like the irony, the reverse. Kaido wants to die. Luffy doesn't want to die. but Luffy dies, Kaido doesn't die, and that's where one's JoyBoy, one's not. It's like the reverse idea.
That's the real reason Kaido was mad at that CP0 agent. He thought he could possibly be the one to die.
Exactly.
He was like, man, this kid might actually kill me, and you gonna take that away from me? Get out of here, man.
That's so true, by the way.
I was about to become JoyBoy, and you take that away from me.
And they know.
Yeah. So
better stop it.
So doesn't say I might go to bed now. Sorry, Bluff must be up early. Hey man, hey you have a good night, Desness. Shout out to Desness, y'all. Shout out to Desness. Appreciate you being here. Angel's Room said Overtaken is the prequel to the Drums of Liberation. Interesting though. Yeah, because they've been talking about the Overtaken OP in the chat for a while now. They've been talking about that because it has those drums, you know.
Okay.
So maybe they might play that Overtaken during the scene. That'd be the right way to go, I think. Q said next time I'll go on the voice call. Angel's Room said we can barely hear Best Gen. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I haven't really been reading the chat. That's been kind of my fault. We've been having such riveting conversations. So I've been.
I think that was actually said before I turned it on.
Oh yeah, it might have been. Yeah, you're right. Cube said I'm a horrible texter. Desmond said, yeah, Cube for guest, please. They want Cube to be a guest. Angel's Room said, yeah, better now. Okay, cool. Angel's Room said Prometheus. I guess he's talking about the devil fruit not being a zone. Prometheus. Cube said, I call BS best generation went before me. That's why I rock with Dragon. I am against corruption. I'm just trying to speed read these. I'm trying to speed read them. Angel's Room said, well, and Skypea voices were disappearing and people were just knocked out. So I guess he was arguing like with the voice part.
Oh, right? That's a good point if that's true. I don't remember that. I actually remember that quite opposite, but I could check it out. Would be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely have to catch what he's saying too, because that's interesting. One's Man Life, shout out to One's Man Life. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if I said that. I might have did. He said JoyBoy probably have read that one about the immortal devil fruit. And he also said, or maybe JoyBoy turned himself into a gum devil fruit. I mean, yeah, I've heard theories. I've heard theories about like you know, the possibility of creating devil fruit abilities. I mean, we've seen it with like Sanji turning his leg into fire. I mean, I'm not saying that's a devil fruit ability, but it's not that different from but I think that might be something with hockey though,
Yeah.
And then we got Tom Harry. He said, "Good luck with the stream. We'll catch it tomorrow as late here. Enjoy." Shout out to Tom Harry. Welcome to the stream. Did you want to say something about the turning into the devil fruit?
Yeah, I think I will just tend to the side that one doesn't need to like suicide to create a devil fruit, but probably if you have like God's ability, you can like give something a voice and ability, like with Sanji, but like with many such cases. I don't know, fishmen, they don't need to like die to create abilities. So it's more maybe that you like, if you have this certain wavelength, you can create devil fruits or something like that.
Yeah, my
probably tends with
go ahead.
that.
Go ahead, my bad.
That's it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Elids, he's a content creator I've done, collabs with plenty of time. He has a theory about where he has a series of videos where he talk about hockey, right? And I think I've said it to you before. Like I think some of y'all, some of both of y'all points kind of intersect, right? Like some of y'all, I've heard
him out since then.
Huh?
I have checked him out since then, and he's pretty much on point.
Oh, okay.
Got it. This guy knows. This guy fucks. Huh?
Yeah, he yeah, he talks a lot about hockey, right? Like he talks about he compares it with chakras and stuff, and then he talk about like devil fruits are more a way of it's like a cheat. It's like a cheating way to get abilities, right? So because we've seen characters display like abilities that could be devil fruitish, kind of like how Sanji makes his leg turn into fire, or Zoro has the Ashura mode, which could be kind of compared to a zone. But
electricity, fire.
Yeah. So I think
that seems legit.
Yeah, it was interesting. He explains it way better than I can, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. Towser said, for the whole story, Luffy need to win against Kaido. Otherwise, how could he beat in the future even greater opponent? Oh, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I've said that Luffy would be defeated by Kaido, but I never said that Luffy wouldn't ultimately win, right? Even if it wasn't in Wano, it could have happened in the bigger war, But I do agree that Luffy has to beat Kaido. I just don't think he's up to task as we know him now. Well, pre this chapter, right? Before this chapter. And Towser also said otherwise. I already read that. And then we got Issa Maru in the chat. Shout out to Issa Maru. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. He says straw ain't wood.
Oh, he got me good there.
Oh, I didn't know what he was recalling. I didn't know what he was talking about at first, but
yeah, I think he got me. Okay, it's a plant. Dude. So, they're both plants.
He also said, or Tyler said, yeah, it could be many things. And then Elson Jackington said, yo ho 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 at Best Generation. So that was directed to you right there.
Yo ho ho back.
And then Towser said the very, very strongest Luffy Moku. I think there will be new OST for this. So yeah, that's what Tyler said. Elson,
drums.
Yeah, them drums. Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah,
nah, but
to be blasted out of the park, dude.
Bruh.
The drum, I can wait.
Yeah, man.
Wait, dude.
But y'all can't tell me when y'all don't hear them drums to that song, to that overtaking, that they don't get you pumped for what's about to happen. Especially right when they about to end off an episode, and some badass stuff about to happen next episode. Like, okay.
I think that most of the walks actually from the Straw Hats, they walk to somewhere, and then the OST plays. I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correct, it could be wrong.
Nah, most time it is when they walking. Like that. I think the Arlong walk. Fight. Yeah.
Yeah, Arlong Park. Damn straight. Enies Lobby walk too, I think.
Huh?
The Enies Lobby walk too, I think. Enies Lobby. I think they walk together with the soundtrack.
Oh, when they was like confronting, like before Usopp burned the flag. Or I mean, not Usopp. So Sage King.
Exactly.
And they all pulled up while Luffy was waiting. Yeah, that was a badass moment right there.
And by the way, Sogeking, same face shape as Sangatnika. Just like a coincidence.
Oh. I thought you was gonna say Usopp. I thought you was going.
No.
I thought you was saying that Soge King and Usopp might be the same person.
You gotta stop that joke. You gotta stop it. I can't hear it anymore.
Nah, but Elson Jackington said, back on the red line, my take on that is that it's actually the One Piece planet's core. Won't be destroyed, but transformed, reformed. So I think to do something like that, you'll need like Pika's devil fruit. Or devil fruit like
good
that.
Thinking, my guy.
I've said that I think the the red line is because they said it's unnatural. Like I remember seeing somebody said it's like a unnatural thing. So I'm thinking like maybe somebody with Pika's devil fruit probably made the red line, right? They just brought all the.
What the? I like that. I
Yeah.
only was on that train like a few months ago, and I didn't even come up with it myself. Somebody told me. I was like, "That's a good take."
Oh,
you're spitting fire here, man. You're spitting fire.
or you gotta have like some type of devil fruit ability that can reshape the terrain, right? Or I don't know. Maybe the Goro no Mi could work as well. Maybe I don't know. You know,
and
since
by the way, Pika's devil fruit appeared in Dressrosa, and Dressrosa is like the peak ancient past or the ancient history arc, because like we have this Doflamingo, Celestial Dragons, Parallel, Emo basically being paralleled with Doflamingo. They both have like the same starting point, the Gosei Donquixote family. They have been like shown with the same weapon, same position, same everything. So it's like a huge foreshadow to the Void Century. And now Pika is one of the mates who has this ability. So it's a huge fucking deal. Huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good take.
Yeah, I was thinking like I thought because I've read a few theories about like the what the One Piece could be, and I've heard like the common one is pretty much or at least it may not be what the One Piece is, but the common thing of what the end goal for the series is pretty much to destroy the Red Line and the Grand Line and the Calm Belt. And one time I was thinking was like because somebody pointed out that like the Red Line wasn't natural, right? Like it just wasn't a natural thing, and I'm like, well, how did it come to be, right? How did the Red Line come to be? And the only ways I could think was like Pika's devil fruit, because he could actually reshape terrain. Maybe Whitebeard, because he could kind of he could manipulate like tectonic plates and stuff to a degree, right? So either one of those two, that at least as far as what we know of devil fruits, because there could be some other devil fruits that could do similar stuff as well, but I can only go by what I know. But yeah, Elson Jackington said Reverse Mountain could be where it takes place and is reunited to its rightful place. Yeah, as far as the destruction, if that's what you're talking about, or I guess that's what he means. Or the reformation, the transformation. That's what he's talking about. Because he doesn't.
Reverse Mountain.
Huh?
I guess so. Okay, he says that it's happening at Reverse Mountain. I guess so.
Yeah.
Makes kind of sense.
Angels.
I think.
I mean, I think you could probably do it either way. I don't think it has to be, but it could be. Angels Room.
Do it where they started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where they start. Yeah. Angels Room said Asia said she hear Kamakiri voice disappeared in the end of the arc. It showed he was just alive, and she said everyone's voice was disappearing. End of the arc. Everyone alive. Okay, he's talking about the Skypea thing. We was talking about, and I would argue, was she using the voice of all things? Because maybe she was, maybe it wasn't like the same way she was hearing voices isn't the same way like Luffy hears voices. But
that's a good point too. But I would have said that at least he states, how to say, a reasonable reply. I think if you don't believe that Luffy isn't dead, I think it's fine. From like at least there's precedent, because before it seemed like every single character acknowledges you're dead if your voice disappears. Yeah. But of course, it could be died there for like 10 seconds. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, still, at least it's possible now. Before I would have said the series just stated, or the track record is 100%. Now he has good reason, or a reason not to believe it.
But actually, I kind of have an argument against you, Angel's Room. I kind of got, because I kind of disagree now that I think about it, because this wasn't the first time in this arc alone that Luffy was knocked out and considered like he was straight up knocked out. He was knocked out when he fell off of Onigashima and fell into the water, and people could hear him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people still heard him. He was knocked out. You know, but now they can't hear him. What's the, you know?
Yep. But I would say that's not an argument against Angel. That was specifically for me because I said that the series or in Aisa, in this instance, it means that somebody dies. So he was whispering that. But yeah, I agree with you too that there's more reasons than that to think that Luffy is dead, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was kind of just arguing his initial point about like,
yeah.
But yeah, and he said Enel could.
And he said that right now. I think Luffy's dead, though. Just wanted to argue. Exactly.
And okay, so he said, and Enel would hear people's voices disappearing, making him think they're dead. Overtaking As played for Ennis Lobby. What will play? I mean, with Enel, like Enel had observation haki, right? So I would say he was probably hearing them, or no, Enel was probably hearing these voices through his ability. Because remember, he can hear through like the electrons in the air. You know, like I remember it being explained something like that. Like he could hear from everywhere in Skypiea through like the electrons. So he wasn't using like the voice of all things or I don't even think observation haki. Huh?
He used haki for sure. He said he combined the mantra with his devil fruit to have better range.
Okay.
That's what I think was stated in the series.
Okay, that makes sense.
That way. Mm-hmm.
But either way, he wasn't using the voice of all things, though. You know.
That's true, but if we kind of, I'm biased here, of course, because of my last video that you've seen too. Haki and the voice of all creation are related. They're just related. So can like all creatures, of course, all creatures can hear the voice of all creatures, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense, you know what I mean?
It is. Like, I get what you're saying, and I don't like. My argument would be is voice of all things is more of a special haki, right? Like, so Enel was never like, we don't know that if Enel has the voice of all things, and it's never even been clued that he does, right? He was using normal observation haki with his ability. You know, as I'm just saying, I believe that the voice of all things is a lot different than the common use of haki, you know, observation haki as well. As far as like Enel hearing voices with haki in his devil fruit ability isn't necessarily the same thing as what Luffy could do with the voice of all things. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my argument. It's like
I'm not 100% on that too. I just know they are related. To what extent, if it's like means that I don't know. I just know they are like in general loosely kind of in some way.
No, I agree with that. I think it's kind of like a combination of Conqueror's haki and observation haki. Like that's kind of my theory on it. Like it's a you know something you gotta have both.
Something like this, it makes sense because armor Metaki. How could it help you to control like creatures? So it makes sense why the other two would be involved. Observation Conquerors. If you mix the two, maybe that's what the haki comes out. Something like that.
Yeah.
We probably will never get an explanation for this. This is kind of why I think it's funny. I swear to God, Oda would just not explain it. Like the way I feel right now.
Let me ask Angel's Room something. Cause he's talking about this whole Skypiea part. Were the voices you say like kept disappearing? Were they like actual like voices, like vocal voices, or were they like inner voices? You know, like because I don't really remember that part in Skypiea, so I just kind of need you to maybe explain it a little better. Were they like people's actual voices, or were they like inner voices? Was it like when Luffy was fought like drowning in the water, and then they heard Luffy's voice even though he couldn't even say nothing because he was drowning? Was it like the inner voice, or were they like actual vocal voices that were disappearing? So I mean that's all. I just wanted to ask him that. And Towser said, I think God Usopp might be related to Mugiwara.
You guys gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me. Kill me.
Go ahead.
Dude, no, I just this joke. I can't anymore.
Oh, the Usopp joke.
Yeah, it just hangs in my back. It follows me everywhere.
All right, we move on.
Okay.
Elson Jackson said, "My thoughts on hearing the voices go out via Kobe, Asia, Law, etc., is a form of observation hockey as opposed to voice of all things." That's kind of what I was trying to explain, I guess. Like though the voices they was hearing was more normal observation hockey. The voices that Luffy or what Luffy is doing is more of a voice of all things thing. You know what I'm saying? He's projecting his with that ability.
Though I have like a hot contention here because I never even thought about it. But how would you explain then that Kaido and Law, who seemingly don't have the voice of our creation, call it or use it the exact same way as Momonosuke, who has the voice of our creation? Why is this parallel being drawn? If you know what I mean? That's actually a break. I didn't even thought about it.
If you said if Kaido and Law
determined, Luffy's voice is gone.
Like, because they could hear his voice?
Exactly. Or they can feel his voice, or they can't feel his voice any longer.
Yeah.
And Momonosuke did the same thing, and he probably used the voice of all creation, right?
Yeah.
See, even like, it is kind of drawn, right?
Yeah, I kind of like, that's why I say like what Luffy does, because I think maybe if you have the voice of all things, you can also project your voice, in where people can hear you, kind of like.
Yeah, right.
And you even said that. Yeah, that's what you said, right? This is stuff you was talking about, man. Like,
exactly.
Like Luffy can project his to people, right? Where Momonosuke could project his to Zunisha, and Shirahoshi could project hers to Sea Kings. So like what Luffy was doing is more using voice of all things for them. Yeah, okay, I got what you. I get where you was going with it.
Well, you got me again.
All right, Elson Jackson said,
"Playing devil's advocate here."
No, I got you. I got you. Elson Jackson said Pika's name also being related to light, glink glink fruit. Oh yeah, the Pika no Mi. Yeah. Oh man, so you saying Pika, his name being similar to light, or the at least the glink glink fruit? Okay, I mean that's interesting.
The world of One Piece started with light.
The universe. So then there was light, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Angel's Room said, "I think Luffy's dead though. Just wanted to argue." I ain't nothing wrong. You was playing devil's advocate. It's nothing wrong with playing devil's advocate. You made us. You challenged us, and you got to challenge us, right? Angel's Room.
That's how our ideas improve.
Exactly.
Or how they get solidified.
Exactly. He also said, "I don't think you need the voice of all things to hear people's voice disappear." No, I don't. But that's not what we're saying. We're saying, we're kind of saying they heard it disappear, and they were using normal observation hockey. So when they heard it disappear, they don't know if it was because the person died or passed out. The way Luffy does it with the voice of all things, like he can be passed out and he could still project his voice. Or he could probably even hear voices of people that are passed out. Like the point was, like, voice of all things in normal observation hockey works differently. Like that's kind of what we're
externalizing your voice.
Externalizing
your voice.
Exactly. Like exactly. That was kind of the point we was making. Isamaru said, "My problem with that problem is that Momo could hear it at a young age. That theory is Momo could hear it at a young age. I mean, I don't think that if you have the voice of all things, you got the voice of all things. But I think he might be talking about. I'm trying to debate. I don't know what theory, the exact theory. Go ahead.
It's funny. I was thinking like I have no idea what he was referring to, and then you were like so confident applying. I thought you were know where you were going with this, and then you're like, wait a second, I don't know either.
I mean, I'm just trying to see why like him using it as at a young age is a problem. I don't get why it's a problem. If you're special, if you're like Shirahoshi is Poseidon, right? So it don't matter her age, she's still gonna be Poseidon, right? So Momonosuke is special, and it's always been shown that he's special. So
I don't see the problem either. To be honest.
I don't see the problem with Luffy's age, or not Luffy, but Momonosuke.
He says that someone said that Haki and the voice of all things are the same thing. I think we said that they are related. How? We don't know. That's, I think, what was said almost word for word. So they're not the same thing. Definitely not.
Yeah, I guess what we're trying to say with Voice of All Things, it's related, but it's not the same thing. It's like Future Sight is observation Haki, but not all observation Haki is going to be Future Sight. If that made sense, right? Like, it's related, but it's special. It's more special than just normal observation. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to awaken the observation, or you have to awaken the voice of all things. It could be something where it's just, you just have to be special to a degree. Like, you just have to, like Momonosuke has a special bloodline. So, same with Shirahoshi. She has a special bloodline. And you could probably even say Luffy, or maybe not necessarily Luffy's bloodline, but, Luffy being a JoyBoy candidate and everything, and possibly being JoyBoy,
it reminds me kind of Naruto with like the whole pact and the animals that you can like summon them. Like you're not allowed to summon them if you have like a bond with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like exactly Naruto. Like some people and adapt to certain things. Some people ain't. It's like it don't matter how much you train, you're not going to be a Uchiha. You're not going to get the Sharingan unless you steal it. I mean, I guess you can steal it, but naturally you're not going to get it, And so yeah, that's kind of the same thing with the voice of all things. It's not something that, just like Conqueror's Haki, not everybody's going to have Conqueror's Haki, You either get it or you don't, You're either qualified to get it or you ain't.
Interesting take. This is something I noticed in the last chapter. I haven't thought about it before, and nobody has brought it up. Law has possibly also the voice of all creation. I know we're gonna say that everybody has the voice of all creation now, but okay, in this chapter he kind of hinted at, but there is actually a proof for that, and that is a weird scene that happened at Wano that is like, how they say, not explained yet. How did Law find the pornoglyph at Wano? There was like this scene where he like suddenly was in front of a pornoglyph and like remembered Corazon's words and wishes.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he find it?
I don't know.
It was never explained. It was hidden somewhere in a secret and some shit, and he found it.
I mean, unless he just... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And the only character shown to have done this before is Roger with the pornoglyph in Skypiea.
Yeah.
That's like the only way to track a pornoglyph is with the voice of all creation. So I'm just saying, I never noticed this, but maybe.
It could be. I mean, maybe he ran into it. I mean, as lazy as the explanation that is, maybe he ran into it. I don't, but I mean, that's a good thing because it kind of seemed like he was going towards it. Like it don't seem like he just came about it, right? Seemed like it was something he was there. Yeah, so I don't know, man. That's a good thing, or that's a good question. I don't have no answer for that. I've never
questioned it. You just came. I have no idea. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let me try and knock out these chats. man, they just coming in, man. They coming in.
Yeah, they don't stop, dude.
Oh man, he said
it's almost 1 a.m. here, so I have to go soon. But
okay, all right. Well, I'll let you go. Yeah, shout out I'm gonna let you go, then I'm gonna just probably just finish reading these chats anyway, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. So yeah, man, shout out the best generation.
Prolonged the stream by jumping in. Sorry.
Hey man, but thank you for being a part of the stream. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to edit it and then say, yeah, featuring you too. Like I'm gonna edit the title of the stream and everything. But give you some credit. So, but yeah, thank you, Best Generation, for chatting it up with me. It was a good chat.
It was a cool conversation. You're a good dude. You have a good brain.
Man, I appreciate that.
You're perceptive. I like that. And you have an inquisitive mind, which is very rare in this community. This is like a treasure. You have to treasure that, having an inquisitive mind.
Yeah, I notice, man. Like sometimes with some people, it's black and white. It's like there's no nuance to situations, and I'm like, Oda does do nuance, But yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you
very much.
Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Shout out the Best Generation. Y'all go to his channel. I'm gonna link his channel in the description as well, so y'all can go subscribe. So yeah. All right, man.
You guys take care. Chat, everybody. Bye, Blum.
No, I appreciate it. Peace, Best Generation. Hope to do this again. All right, y'all. That was a good discussion. This been a long stream, y'all. This been probably my longest. This is probably going on my longest stream right now, and I still got. I want to answer your guys' chats before I finish this stream out. So, let's do that. I didn't even cover the whole chapter. That's how wild the last part of this chapter been. That's pretty much all we talked about, right? What happened, But yeah, Elson Jackinson said, "Agree, Luffy's heart stopped." Yeah, I think he definitely died, man. I think he died. Could be a different variation of Voice of All Creation, possibly Voice of All Things with a vocal mechanism, i.e., people, animals with mouth. Elson, I think the Voice of All Things and the Voice of All Creation are pretty much the same thing. That's just Best Generation says Voice of All Creation, but I think everybody else say Voice of All Things. Or I don't want to say everybody else, but like at least in the U.S., I think that's kind of what we call it, the Voice of All Things. And I think in like some places over in Europe, they're going to say the Voice of All Creation. So I think that's all that really is. But Isimaru said there is also the VFX boom in the last panel, implying that his heart stopped and then started to pump again. Okay, that bro, I think I did see it, but I didn't really take it for that. So, but that's very perceptive of you, man. I didn't really put two and two together. Angel's Room said, I believe that too. Yeah, Elsa Jackson said, fire. That's right. I forgot about that. Sorry, man. I know I'm back on a lot of y'all chat. I've been trying to catch up, but I'm trying to read y'all chat, man. I'm trying to acknowledge you guys. Isimaru says, someone said that hockey and the Voice of All Things are the same thing. I would see it separate. No, I don't think they're the same thing. I just think they're related. And I think that's pretty much Best Generation's take. They're related, right? Like, I think, me personally, I've talked about this with Elids. He's another YouTuber. We kind of believe, like, we came to the conclusion that the Voice of All Creation or of all things, whichever one you want to say, is pretty much maybe related to Conqueror's hockey, like a combination of Conqueror's hockey and observation hockey, right? Like to where it's it's like a level of hockey that only certain people could really reach, right? Like that's pretty much what we're saying. But in a sense, it is observation hockey, but observation hockey isn't the voice of all things, right? Just like I said, future sight observation hockey is observation hockey, but observation hockey isn't necessarily future sight, right? Like you could have observation hockey, but not have future sight hockey. But you know, if you have future sight hockey, then you have observation hockey, right? And what we're saying, what we believe is or voice of all creation or of all things is pretty much connected with observation hockey, right? Like it's one of them things you just have to be a special individual to be able to access, you know. That's kind of where we was going with that. But we do think it's connected with observation hockey, at least us. Now, whoever else said that, I don't know. I don't know what they fully said or believe, you know. Elson Jackerton said, externalizing voice of all creation, especially when under duress. Case in point, Shirahoshi, Zunisha, Luffy knocked unconscious. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, right? You're pretty much externalizing it, right? But kind of according to Best Generation's explanation is like Shirahoshi, she can only do that. She can only externalize her voice of all creations or the voice of all things. She can only externalize it to Sea Kings. And Momonosuke can only do that to like Zunisha or maybe possibly the species of Zunisha. And then Luffy can do that with humans. You know, like he can't talk to Zunisha. Well, I mean, maybe he can now with this new turn of events, right? Like maybe now he could do it, but before he couldn't do that, right? So that's kind of that idea. And but yeah, you kind of onto something. You onto that though. Or Isamaru said, I could dig that, but what I'm wondering then is why can Law hear Luffy's voice? Yeah, that goes back to the externalizing the it's like Luffy, kind of like what I just said about like when I said Best Generation, he has this his theory is pretty much that Luffy has an ability similar to Momonosuke and Shirahoshi, but to where they can do that with animals like these wild beasts. Luffy does that with humans. You know what I'm saying? He can do that with people. So, you know, that kind of would explain, you know, at least that's the speculation of an explanation. Angel's Room said, yeah, but I think observation hockey give you the ability to hear people's voices and see their colors. Oh, yeah, we're not arguing that. I agree with that. Observation hockey does, or it could, but what we're saying is the voice of all creation or of all things isn't like, it's different from how observation hockey works. So it would be different pretty much based off of hold on, I'm trying to regain my thoughts. I kind of lost track of what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Hey, man, this stream, man, is going on 3 hours, man. My mind's starting to get fried. It's like Luffy can project his voice. So even when he's unconscious, he could still project it, you know, to where people can hear it. Even if they don't have observation hockey, he could probably still project it to them, you know. So pretty much when we seen him knocked out the first time, when he was falling in the water and he was unconscious, he was still projecting his voice. People could still hear Luffy. Matter of fact, people were surprised that they could hear him. They were like, oh, I could hear him. When the people on Law's submarine was like, hey, I hear a voice. And they heard Luffy's voice, who was passed out. but they still heard it. As opposed to the situation in Dressrosa where these people were being knocked out, but they wasn't able to project their voice. You know, people was like, hey, I can't hear voices no more, right? So, and that was probably just them using normal observation hockey. But with the voice of all things, you know, at least for Luffy, he's able to at least project his voice, you know. And I don't know if he could hear people if they pass out, but, you know, it at least shows, at least we know, at the very least we know that Luffy can project his voice even when he's unconscious. And he wasn't doing that after he got defeated by Kaido. That's pretty much, you know, that's all the connections I could really make, you know. But I'm wondering, Luffy's voice. Angel's Room said, yeah, but I think observation hockey give you the ability to hear people's voices and see their colors. Oh yeah, I just read that. Isamaru said, could be possible. Maybe it becomes a more valid theory when we see Sanji again. Let me try to connect that. He said, but what I'm wondering then is why Luffy could be, maybe it becomes more valid theory. You might have to refresh my memory on what you're talking about right there. You talking about the voice of all things, or, you know, because I mean, I just been talking about voice of all things, and you might be talking about something different. So yeah, just remind me what you're talking about, Isamaru. He said maybe it becomes more, or he says, yeah, I also thought of Roger back when Law could, or found that poneglyph. Yeah. What made you think of Roger? Was it Roger hearing the voices in the poneglyphs? Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. You're talking about Law finding that poneglyph and possibly being led to it. Elson Jackson said poneglyph, and then he had like a pepper. Spicy. Some spicy stuff right there. Isamaru said Roger says poneglyph. Yeah, that's what we call it, poneglyphs. Y'all call it something different? Is that not what we call it? or you said pomeglyph with an M, a pomeglyph. Pomeglyph. Roger called it a pomeglyph. Man. Isamaru said, never mind. Towser said Robin could also find poneglyph when she was young. Yeah, but she was actively looking for it, so she probably eventually, when you looking for something, you're going to find it, right? You know, in some cases you could be led to it though, right? Maybe Law wasn't looking for it, maybe he ran into it, or maybe he was led to it. I don't know. Elsa Jackson said many of the Straw Hats will end up with Conquerors. Oh, that Conquerors hockey and voice of all things. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope not, because I feel as though it will kind of dilute the greatness of what Conquerors hockey, or Conquerors hockey and the voice of all things, right? It kind of dilutes it if all of them have it, right? Like, I think Usopp could potentially get it. You know, maybe Sanji as well. You know, wasn't it confirmed that Zoro had it? I'm not too sure, but Zoro definitely, you know. As far as voice of all things, I think that's one of the things that's probably going to be even rarer than Conquerors hockey. So I don't think, you know, Conquerors hockey maybe to a degree, voice of all things. Plus, I like how Luffy having it differentiates him compared to all the other characters, right? So I hope they don't. I kind of hope they don't. I'm sorry. Sorry, I disagree with you on that aspect about like all of them having that, you know. Maybe Conquerors hockey to a degree though. Elson Jacket, he said, I agree with that. Conquerors hockey and observation. Yeah, and here's why I think that, right? Because I think like it's like they both work with each other, right, and give you a whole new ability, right? Like you're like to be able to have people hear your voice, you have to be able to first be able to sense them, or you know, that's kind of where the observation hockey is, right? The ability to be able to hear people's thoughts and connect with them. You know, that's going to be where the conquerors hockey falls. But then the ability to be able to almost put something into somebody, right? Like give somebody else an ability, right? To where they almost have the voice of all things and they can hear you, you know. Like I think that's something that has to do with conquerors hockey and observation. You know, it kind of reminds me in a way of like Mihawk and Luffy, right? During Marineford, where Luffy was about to attack Mihawk, but then he seen the future for a second. And this was way before Mihawk or Luffy had observation hockey, and definitely he didn't have future sight observation hockey, right? But I think Mihawk was able to probably instill future sight hockey in Luffy. Pretty much just he actually saved Luffy. Like he was like, look, I'm gonna put this vision in your head, so you know, you can hit, you know what's about to happen if you go through with this. So maybe Mihawk has voice of all things or something like it. You know, it could be the image of all things. I don't know. I'm just joking, but let me see, where was many of the some variation to that. And then he said, Elson Jackson said, if I remember correctly, in previous chapters, Kaido said that Big Mom's voice went out too. Yeah, but Kaido probably don't have the voice of all things, you know. And like, or it like I said, with Luffy, it's different with Luffy, you know, because we seen him we seen how even up some unconscious he can project his voice. So that's why I think the fact that Luffy didn't do it, he died, because it's like he's already shown people could hear him even when he's unconscious. But you know, now Big Mom, she might not have the voice of all things, so she couldn't project her voice being unconscious. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Big Mom can't project her voice to Kaido for him to be able to hear it. You know, so even if they have the voice of all things, you know, which we don't know if voice of all things you could project, or if it's something that if projecting your voice is a higher level than the voice of all things, or what, you know. But let's see. I'm gonna read the rest of these chats and then we wrapping this up, guys. I'm trying to get to you guys, you know. Angel's Room said, yeah, but my argument to Law hearing Luffy's voice disappear is because he was trying but was unable to because Luffy died. Are you saying? Yeah, but okay. Yeah. But yeah, you're pretty much saying the same thing I've been saying though. Like if Luffy dies, he can't project his voice no more, right? So that's why Law couldn't. Or are you saying Law has the voice of all things as well? But like again, I don't know if you need the voice of all things if somebody's projecting to you, you know. So like Luffy, because Law's crew could hear Luffy and they don't have voice of all things, but Luffy was able to project to him. But yeah, because Luffy died, exactly. I agree with you on that though. Which would also explain how Law was able to find Luffy in Dressrosa when he deflated. He could hear his voice. Oh, good point. I don't even remember that part, honestly. Elson Jackson said, there's a reason they go by color. Colors can be mixed to form new colors. Yeah, that is definitely true. New colors meaning new abilities, right? New forms of hockey, right? Hey, bro, Elson Jackson, you gotta go to Elid's Understanding Hockey videos because he really breaks down a lot of the he talks about colors and all that stuff, right? Like he talks about different types of hockey and like compares it with water, right? Uh Again, I wouldn't do any justice explaining his stuff, so I'm not going to try. Angel's Room said, and Law finding the poneglyph was just fate. After all, he's the only one who could easily move it. Bro, I wonder if Law could create like little pocket universes, right? Like, let's say if he could just make something disappear, because we seen he usually rearranges stuff, right? Like he rearranges the position. So if he could like actually hide something, right? Like make it disappear and it not like instead of changing the position, make it disappear, right? Like that, you know. Otherwise, Law's gonna have to keep switching the poneglyph in. I don't know. He doesn't have any energy right now, so I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. Angel's Room said, no, I'm saying any can project their voice as long as some want to hear their voice. Anyone can, like Kobe in Asia. Well, again, like I don't think anybody could project their voice. I kind of disagree with that. You know, I think Kobe they might have. I think that I think you need the voice of all things to either hear or project, right? Like, like you could, if you have it, you can hear or project. But if you don't have it, you can only hear if somebody with it is projecting to you. Or you can only project your voice. Like people can only hear your voice. Like you can only project your voice to people who have the voice of all things. But I don't know. Again, like we don't really know. This is just speculation. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe everybody can, but with Kobe in Asia, Kobe could possibly have voice of all things. I don't really remember Asia like that to really speak on. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation with her was like. Like maybe she has a voice of all things as well. I don't know. Or maybe she was just using observation hockey. I have to personally see that situation again. So because I don't necessarily remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe has the voice of all things. I've already said Kobe is. I personally believe Kobe is a special character, right? Like he was literally like Luffy's first friend as when he made, and I think Kobe is a lot more special than people give him credit for. That's why I think he's going to be the Garp to Luffy's Roger, right? I think Kobe could potentially be similar to Luffy in many ways. As far as abilities, like he could gain a lot of abilities that a lot of people don't have access to. Elson Jackson said, "You introduced me to him." And his content is enlightening. Thank you. Oh, okay, Eliz. Yeah, I'm glad you like his stuff, man. I really appreciate it. That's my boy, man. Like, I knew like, I was cool with him since before I started my YouTube, right? And we collaborated a few times. He's one person I like to always call on when I want to, and he might call on me, so. Angel's Room said, who can hear other people's voices? I believe voice of all things give you the ability to talk to the thing that aren't human or hear them. I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think the voice of all things. That's kind of but it's in the name, bro. It's kind of in the name. The voice of all things, not the voice of some things. The voice of all. Gotta break it down, bro. Like it wouldn't make sense for you. You could hear only some voices, and you can't hear the voice of all things. Like poneglyphs, you can hear the voice of them. You can hear the voice of humans. You can hear the voice of people. You can hear the voices of animals. Of all things, brother. All things, my G. All things. I believe any human can project their voice to another human if the human want to hear. I mean, but if that's the case, why don't they use that as a form of communication? If Zoro could go communicate, like projecting his voice to humans and everything, or to Luffy and to Zoro or Sanji, that's like telepathy. Everybody should be doing that, right? Everybody should be doing that. You know, and I could probably agree that you could, like, in extreme circumstances, some people could do that. Like they could access the voice of all things, like in maybe extreme circumstances. But as casually Luffy does it, and like Momonosuke has done with Zunisha, or as far as projecting, we haven't really seen. I mean, I don't know. Like, again, you know, it's not like we've seen a lot of people project their voices like that. You know what I'm saying? That might just be a special trait. I think that's a special trait, man. I disagree with you, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. Cube said, "Damn, my internet is bad tonight." Hey, man, this been a good stream, Cube. Sorry, bro. You just been going through it, man. You've been going through it, brother. I'm about to wrap this up though. I'm just finishing these chats. Angel's Room says, but Luffy's will is so strong he can make anyone hear them. Yes, you know, and another thing, you're kind of proving it, right? Haki is your will, right? Haki is will. I think voice of all things is also, and we've been saying that the voice of all things is connected with Haki as well, right? So in that case, if Haki is more so will, right? Your spirit, your willpower, and Luffy has a strong will that gives him access to the voice of all things. Hey, bro, you in a sense, you kind of agreeing with me now. You kind of agreeing with me. You know, I think Luffy is able to have the voice of all things because of he has a special will, right? You know, he almost has like a godly will, right? He said not everyone is good at observation and everyone doesn't know Haki exists and people don't train their Haki to point. But again, I don't think the voice of all things is you know, it's not something you could train, right? You know, like you just have to be like a special individual with like a special will or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's true. And that's more so observation and well, that's all the Hakis. Yeah, you're right, my bad. Cause you can't train Conqueror's Haki, and I don't think you could train Voice of All Things either. Or wait, can you train Conqueror's? Yeah, I don't think you could train Conqueror's Haki. Elson Jacket said, "Peace out, my God. Thanks for the stream. Appreciate your work." Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. And shout out to Elson Jacketon. Yeah, man. So I'm caught up with all the chats, so we about to wrap this up. Yeah, man, it was a good stream. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow as well. I don't know what I'm gonna stream yet. I'm gonna probably do something pertaining to this chapter. I might do like I might react to another chapter discussion, and That's probably gonna be for tomorrow. You guys can, make sure y'all send me stuff in the Discord or whatever. If y'all want me to react to a specific YouTuber's chapter discussion, send it in the Discord. Definitely. Angel's Room said, no, I'm saying any human can project their voice to another human if the human wants to hear it. Voice of all things give you the ability to do it with any living animal or anything. See you, man. Great chat. Yeah, but again, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, yes, I do agree with that, because if you have the voice of all things and Luffy is hearing your voice, that means you are indeed projecting it, right? So yes, but I thought, again, I thought you meant, but I mean, pretty much, but that's what I've been saying that. So I mean, again, I don't know why we was debating. I don't know, because I thought you were saying that Nami could project her voice to somebody like Zoro, who, as we know, doesn't have the voice, or not. Let me not use voice of all things, or let me not use Zoro. Chopper. If that's what you're saying, I don't agree with it. Can she project her voice to somebody like Luffy? Yes, but I've been saying that though. I've said that multiple times. So again, I don't know what we're disagreeing with. But yeah, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Go subscribe to Best Generation. I'm gonna have his link in the description as well. Make sure y'all show your boy some love and hit that like button. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as well. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on my Facebook page. And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. So y'all go be a part of it. Y'all go do that. Angel's Room said, I think she could if Zoro or Chopper wanted to hear. And that's where I disagree with you. I think you have to have the voice for all things to be able to hear stuff that's not being verbally communicated. But yeah, anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God. I'm gonna start ending with just Sean P. I know y'all call. I don't know. I might experiment with some endings. I don't want to give my intro. I don't want to do my intro for my ending. So yeah, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday evening. Comment. Let me know what you thought of the chapter below in the comments. And that's all I have, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace. Angel's Room said, I'll message you on Discord. All right. You can do that. But yeah, peace.